Welcome to the Extraordinary Culture Podcast. Podcast for the culture that is music, movies, sports, food, and beer. The Extraordinary Culture.
You doing the cold?
Oh, okay. What are we saying? Merry Christmas?
We're already live, right?
Oh, okay. Are we live?
Yeah, we actually are.
Oh, okay.
We can cut that.
We
out
can go.
anyway.
Well, let's just start with that.
No.
Why not? Start with that.
The funniest one we ever did was where we just started a podcast. We were talking about bullshit.
Yeah, and
The
then-
Bloodsport. We're talking about Bloodsport.
No, we were talking about Bloodsport. We were talking about Return of the Dragon.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Show
that's
enough.
right. Yeah, that's right.
And it morphed into a Bloodsport.
Yeah.
So we got something we're celebrating today. It's happy birthday, Rick.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the Boston Tea Party.
And
Yeah.
you are
Thank you,
29
thank
years
you.
old again.
29 years old.
For the 7th time.
The 9th time.
Oh, the 9th time.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
For the 9th. I know. I'm getting old.
Okay.
Top of the Hut.
So I'll interrupt this. The reason why you asked about those belching beavers is because I got all of you guys, well, mainly for you initially for your birthday, got you one of those belching beavers. It's the double chocolate Mexican stout.
Oh,
peanut butter stout.
nice.
Wow.
So, but I also got one for you, and I also for X, and I got one for Dan as
Oh,
well.
wow,
and while I
thanks.
just threw myself in that little circle
Yeah.
jerk as well. And
Awesome. That's a good band. We did.
so you guys go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to get you those
Oh,
bottles.
thank you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
cool. Hey, well, what's going on? It's a few days before. Well, it's 2 weeks before Christmas. Less
That's
than that.
9 days.
Oh, I don't
9
even know what day it is.
So how many people have finished their Christmas shopping?
Believe it or not, I have.
I don't know.
You buy stuff for the wife.
I buy stuff for the wife. I buy stuff for the kids, and everybody else couldn't tell you. Like she usually takes care of that. So I think we're pretty close. I think a few more things for the kids.
There's a few things here and there, but for the major bulk is done. It's just stocking stuffers and things like that.
Yeah, I'm done with the bigger stuff. It's just like the little small gift cards I need to pick up.
I did that today. Actually, I've been running around all day. I got up and I ran to Costco. Then I ran to Stater Brothers, and then I ran to get lunch, and then I was doing stuff around the house, and here I am.
Are you sure your name's not Frank the Tank?
Yeah. Oh man, I had a
Big
big
day.
weekend.
Get a Home Depot.
I didn't make it to Bed Bath and Beyond today, so we'll see. Home Depot? No. I spent half my week at Home Depot trying to fix my water heater. Oh man. So we'll talk about this later. But Monday, Rick and I went to SmackDown. Tuesday, I had to have a plumber out to take care of the drain. Wednesday, I woke up and the wife said, "Hey, there's no hot water." So I got the thing started again. The pilot went out, which is kind of weird because they don't go out anymore on these machines. Right. So got it restarted. Went about my day. Came home that day and was like, she asked if I checked the water heater again to see if the pilot was still on. I said, well, the water's coming out hot. Then I thought, oh, that doesn't mean anything. I need to check the actual pilot itself. It was out. So the next morning I got up, showered at my mom's house because everybody next door, had to shower. So went about again, figured out what the piece was that I needed. No one had it. Found it in Ace Hardware in Riverside. Came back, worked about it in an hour and a half with my dad to replace it. 2 pieces we replaced on the water heater for it not to work again, for me to go spend $600 at Home Depot to get it done in half an hour and have hot water again. That was pretty much my week.
But at least you got hot water.
I got a warm shower. Yeah, it was. It sucks, dude. I can't do laundry, can't do dishes. You're like, what the heck am I gonna?
Can't
do?
put a price on that.
No. That
Well,
warm
maybe.
shower alone.
Maybe you could.
I could have taken the cold shower because then I'd jump in real quick and be like, okay, here we go, and then just do it. But like the wife and kids weren't gonna do that, so.
Oh, yeah. So I just poured the Belching Beaver Mexican chocolate peanut butter stout into Das Santa Boot.
Das Boot.
It's Das Santa Boot. It actually looks like Santa.
Yeah, we should have shared one of these, man. I'm gonna
feel this.
You know
later.
what? I'll
Yeah.
share with you, and then
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Suckers.
Bring in a
that
Christmas.
was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was
dude,
gonna say,
dude,
wait a
it's
minute.
my
I
birthday. I'm gonna enjoy this
haven't
one.
eaten yet either, dude. This is gonna go bad.
It's my birthday. I'm gonna enjoy this one.
There you go. You enjoy that one.
I got a long
That's what it
drive.
was for.
It's only 7.5 alcohol, but
Yeah, it's all right.
I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's gonna go bad. I'll share mine with you, and I'll bring this one to Christmas.
All right.
You're not a Victoria's Secrets model. Who are you kidding?
No, look at this. Look at this shape, dude. I got abs. I got a
He's
6-pack.
He's got to keep his
Size
round.
and an
gordo.
18-pack and a 24-pack and a party bowl.
And we got the holidays coming up with us, and we've had some good times and bad times of holidays. And I know, Rick, recently you've had a really bad experience.
Yeah, man. Online shopping is supposed to be where it's at, but this year it was not all it was cracked up to be.
Damn, who's stealing presents from you? Who's a bad man?
The Grinch is canceling orders after I've made them on Black
Oh,
Friday.
no.
And, dude, I kid you not. Wednesday night, midnight, I wake up and make my Black Friday order.
Okay.
So I'm smart.
Yeah.
I do it first
What?
thing.
Oh.
First thing. And I set it to deliver to the store because I don't want to have it taken, off my porch or whatever. The day after it's anticipated to be delivered in the store, I get an email saying they cancel my order.
The day after?
The day after.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, what? I'm calling up customer service. Alicia's calling customer service. And they're basically like, no, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, no, you're kidding me. No, there's nothing we can do. Let me talk to a supervisor, please. There's not one available. You're telling me that no supervisor is there. They're like, oh, there's one here. It's just not available. I'll wait.
What do you mean? Oh, okay. So it's just okay.
They're just like, I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait till they're available. That might take all day. That's okay. I'll wait.
Yeah, it's worse than the
I'll be
lineup
put
for
on hold.
Mickey at Japan.
They're like, no, you can't wait. We have to free up the line. I go, look, you made me wait a week to tell me you're not going to give me this order. You can wait. I can wait a few hours for this guy or whoever your manager is. And they full on just hang up on me.
Oh,
That's wrong.
yeah.
So then I spent 3 days.
You didn't ask a name, did you?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did ask a
Just
name.
say, listen, Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
I got the name, and I was back and forth with customer service online all day Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
But literally, they're just like, yeah, we'll get back to you. Yeah, we'll get back to you. Yeah, we'll get back to you every time I message them.
Sure.
Sunday, I figure out they're having a special at this place. So I buy a gift card for less than actual price.
Uh-huh.
So I get back half of what I was going to buy bonus-wise. I was buying my kids don't listen. I'm buying a Nintendo Switch for them with Mario Kart 8.
Sure.
I hope your kids don't listen.
$360, dude. I mean, it's not bad if I bought both pieces.
Sure.
But on Black Friday, everybody had them for $299.
Yeah.
So I'm saving $60. I figure out a way to get 30 of this back by buying a gift card at 10% off.
Mm-hmm.
Later on Tuesday, they finally get back to me and go, oh, okay, we'll honor the price. And I tell them, I go, I already bought it somewhere else. You guys, you jerked me around enough. I bought it somewhere else. They're like, well, we don't want that to be your last experience with us. So here's a $25 gift card.
Oh, I hadn't heard that part. I heard the rest of the story from
Yeah.
our other brother.
Yeah, so Tuesday they send me a $25 gift card, and I'm like, well, crap. Now I've got enough to pay for the Mario Kart 8 on top of it.
Nice.
So it worked out in my advantage, but I had to take things into my own hands and really
Wait
go
up. How do
through
they
like
have
crazy.
Mario Kart
Hey,
8
kids,
when
you
I've
get
had
Mario
Mario
Kart for
Kart
Christmas.
64?
Because that was named after the system.
Ah.
Well, that's good. At least somewhat of a
Oh, yeah.
oddly happy ending.
But you know what? It isn't as bad as some people's Christmas Eves.
So,
Wait, hold on. Before we move on, I need to say that this beer is freaking fantastic.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is
great
Oh
delicious.
my
Really
god,
good.
Dude, Belching Beaver is my go-to brewery. They've never steered me wrong.
No, this is this is Belching Beaver's Mexican chocolate peanut butter stout. Now again, it's been said many times on this podcast, I'm not the biggest fan of stouts. But the Founders one, oh my god. Actually, I went to Yard House the other day and they had it there. I didn't have one.
was it on tap or was it, on the bar?
Must have been on tap. It was it was on tap. I didn't have one, but I saw it and I was recommending it to everybody. You like stouts, you gotta try that one. And then this one is oh my god. Congrats to you guys for finding two stouts I actually like.
Honestly, you could drink any Belching Beaver stout and you would probably like it.
Really? Okay,
They're
good.
really
All
good
right,
stouts.
That's good to know. But anyway, yours sucked. Someone's sucked else too. That didn't come out right.
All
Someone
right,
else
so
sucked too.
This
Suck
involves
as
a
well.
little bit Dan and a little bit, but me mostly. So when it's Dan's turn, I'll point to him and he'll fill in this
The
part.
Ghost
Yeah.
of Christmas Past coming
So-
through here.
I was working at Kmart. This is Kmart, and I was 1995 in Corona. I don't care about the name because they're
Was it
closing up.
95?
Yeah, it was 95 because that's when a lot of people got the boot.
I wasn't working
I
there
don't
yet,
remember.
so yeah.
Yeah. that's like my first year there, and a lot of people got the boot. It was my first year in college, I believe, or second year in college, and your first year.
My first semester in college, yeah.
So I was working there, and I'm low man on the total pole. I was hired basically right before, during the summer, end of summer, to fill in for the seasonal help. I was a cashier, and they said, like, oh, you're working evening on Christmas Eve, you're closing.
Which was common. That happens.
Yeah, that's common. We're celebrating in Corona, so I could just go right to where I needed to be. So they said, okay, so we get our lines done. Takes about half an hour to an hour to get it done. It says, okay, now you got to go clean up the store. So like everything that doesn't belong in its spot, you have to go take back. Now, Dan, you were able to close right away, correct?
Yeah, I worked back in sporting goods, so I was scheduled till 8 o'clock. They shuffle everybody up to the front of the store to pay at the front checkouts. So when 8 o'clock came, the guy that I was working with that night, because there was two of us, we pulled our money, dropped it off in the front, and told everybody in the front, "Yeah, Merry Christmas, we're out." And then we went to the back, which I'll fill in later.
So I'm like, I got a shopping cart, and I'm throwing all this back and goes, goddamn, it's fucking Christmas Eve. I got to fucking work on Christmas Eve, son of a bitch, motherfuckers. And I'm there, but I fill out my shopping cart in about a half hour, 20 minutes, half hour. And I come up there and it's like, hey, we just got robbed. I'm like, what the fuck? He goes, yeah, this gentleman who, he's locked up, but and he goes, yeah, he pulled down the bolts and he kicked open the door to get out of the store. I'm like, what the heck? So now, Dan, fill in back your part again.
When I left, I went to the back to go clock out, and I clocked out, and then the door to the lounge was right there too. And the other guy that I was with, we were just hanging out back there for a minute, talking like we always do, checking the schedule, see what we worked. Opened the door to the lounge, and there's three gentlemen sitting back there that we have no idea who they were. We didn't know them. We just said, hey, oh, hey. They just kind of like looked at us and said, hey. We didn't think anything of it because you'd get husbands, boyfriends who came into the store waiting for their girlfriend, wife all the time. You don't know them. You just say, hey, what's going on? You just kind of go about your business because it happened all the time. And there's no way. The store's big enough that I don't know who everybody's husband. I don't know everybody's boyfriend. Didn't think anything of it. We said bye, walked up to the front and said, Merry Christmas again, and we're out. Went home, waited for this guy. Finally, the phone rang. I think I took the phone call. I think I'm the one that actually answered the phone.
Robbie took it, and then, no, I think I talked to an adult. They said, hey, Robbie, let me talk to an adult. Who? I go, any adult. And I told him what happened. So this is what happened. After people turned in their money, a bunch of people went back to the cash cage to turn in their money. These three gentlemen stopped what was going on, stopped these people, intercepted these people.
Now, where were they at?
In the back in the cash cage?
No. Or they were in the lounge.
Or they're hiding in the lounge.
Those were the ones that were in the lounge.
They're hiding in the lounge, but they had gone to the cash cage, got them, got these people, robbed them. Now, I think somebody who worked in shoes was tied up and upstairs.
Yeah, let's get into that story. So the guy that worked in shoes, he walked back there into the lounge. We never walked into the lounge, just opened the door. He walked into the lounge. They grabbed him, took him up the stairs to the second level by the offices, tied him up, and held a gun to his head.
Then
go ahead.
So then all these people, there's about 4 or 5 people that got it. So it was a guy who bolted out the door, the manager on duty that day, the lady who was in charge of checkouts, and then somebody else. They were all robbed. Now, these people are paranoid. Remember one of them was the girl we called Giggles?
Yeah.
Who was always up front. So for what we understand, one of the guys that was in on the robbery had worked there as security before and had dated one of the girls who was working in jewelry at the time. So after it's already later. They said, okay, we got to get the dogs in here and look for everybody. So this is already like an hour and a half after I was supposed to, or an hour and a half after the store is closed.
Yeah, because I got off at 8. I think you were supposed to get off at 9.
Yeah, I was supposed to get off at 9 o'clock. It's like 9:30. So they send us outside, and I go, can I get my jacket? He goes, no, we're not letting anybody outside. So I'm like, damn. So I make a phone call, tell them what's going on. I go, the store just got robbed. I'll be there as soon as I can.
It is before cell phones, too.
Yes, I had to use a payphone.
Yeah.
So the next day we go back, goes, what happened? Goes, we got robbed and blah, blah, blah. And we hear all kinds of theories because we still don't know. We just know it was 3 gentlemen robbed the store and goes, oh, I heard it was this guy. Oh, I heard it was this guy. Oh, they did this. The manager who was on duty was so freaked out. She never wanted to work nights. She was paranoid.
She didn't come back for like a few months.
No, she came back right away, but then she was messed up. She was messed up because I remember her like in maybe mid-January, but she was messed up. The guy who had it worst of all that was tied up, went back and laughed it off and was done with it the next day.
He came back the day after Christmas. And he told me when I talked to him, I was like, hey, you okay? Yeah, man, I'm fine. And I'm like, well, dude, what happened? He's like, well, I went back there. They grabbed me, took me upstairs and stuff. And he's like, it was weird, man, because I could hear everybody. I could hear you and the guy talking down by the time clock. Like when you guys came back there. I was like, oh, man.
So for then on,
So you were right there. It's like, yeah, I could hear everything you guys were talking about.
So
You
like,
know what? Better that upstairs than that office though than the shoe one. That one's like freaking scary as hell.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Now, was Christmas Eve at your guys' house?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it was at my mom's house.
Dude, I think I picked up the phone.
no, I think it was.
I know
Robbie.
I talked to him, but
Yeah.
I know I talked to him simply because I had been there a little while. And I was like, what the heck's going on, man? When I left, you guys
Yeah.
were doing this.
So I mean, it was crazy. It was fun. It's-
man.
I had forgotten about the story for a long time until Dan brought it up right now, or when we were writing it for the podcast. I go, oh my god, I forgot that I had gotten robbed.
Oh, I tell that story every year, dude. 'Cause I got a ton of good stories that come out of that place.
That's
And
funny.
I was involved with that time you and I tackled.
Oh
that
yeah,
guy from jewelry, pushed the girl in jewelry, took
yeah.
a necklace, and we saw him. This guy, I saw him jump for the guy, so I was like, okay, I guess we're jumping on this guy. So
I
jumped
think I
on
had him in a
too.
headlock.
Yeah, I jumped on his back and held his legs.
If I would have known better, I would have put him in a camel clutch.
I almost got in a fight with a girl outside trying to hold her back when security told me to hang on to her. There was all kinds of bullshit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but those Christmases. You know, I don't miss that.
Crazy Christmas nights.
Nah, you know, it never was really all that bad. That was the worst one, but it never was really all that bad. I never really dealt with any rude customers that I can think of.
It was just people not wanting
really.
to leave.
Yeah,
It was that Kmart when we were there, everybody closed at 6.
we're the
closed at
latest
8.
store. Yeah,
So everybody after 6, those last 2 hours, you were wall to wall people. And yeah, the store closes at 8, but they're not going to tell people we're closing the cash registers at 8.
Right.
No.
So you're working till 9 o'clock, just trying to funnel people
Yeah.
out of
You know
the
what?
store.
I
making
put in
those
I put in
sales.
enough time that I only closed a couple of times. I usually open Christmas Eve.
yeah. I
I
remember
did too after a while.
telling a customer, I go, "Man, we're closed." He goes, "Well, you guys still have the cash registers open?" He goes, "I still need to get one. I need to get." I go, "Man, we all would like to get home to our families."
I don't mean shit now that we're open on Thanksgiving because I work Thanksgiving too.
You worked the first
I worked
Thanksgiving
the first
and it was
Thanksgiving.
dead.
That was
Mhm.
dead.
I worked the second Thanksgiving and people were like
That's
coming
because
in.
they came out with a sale.
Yeah,
We worked the first Thanksgiving.
Those-
I swear to you, we were all hanging out at the front.
Those
the
morning,
whole store.
Those Thanksgiving mornings, oh my God.
Yeah,
No.
were. Well, yeah. The first Thanksgiving, it was strictly people coming in for stuff like foil pans, napkins, and stuff like that. It wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
And like matter of fact, we left, and we were like, "Ha, stupid! They'll never do that again." Then the next year they come out with an ad. We're like, "You're gonna come out with an ad?" You look at it, you're
Thursday
like,
only
"Oh shit!
sales."
You got shit like half price. Like that's like it's gonna be busy in here."
And they open at like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
They were
it
open
was
like dirt
dude.
early.
It was busy.
and I remember somebody saying like, "Oh, I feel sorry for you guys because you have to work on Thanksgiving." I said like, "We
Listen,
wouldn't be
Janet.
here." I go, "We
Janet,
wouldn't be
Janet.
here if it wasn't for
Janet,
you."
Janet.
He goes, "If you don't like it, don't come in here."
I never had anybody tell me that.
I didn't tell him anything back. I just said, "Yeah,
I just saw fights over Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh yeah."
That was when it was all popping.
Yeah, Tickle Me Elmo was the thing.
Oh.
Hey man, did you see what happened in Disneyland?
I've seen lots of things happen.
No, I'm talking about with Santa Claus.
Santa Claus?
Which one though?
Which one? What are you talking about?
Which park?
Disneyland Park.
It was
Oh,
Disney.
it was
Or
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
It was Disneyland Park.
It was
oh,
a very
I,
Merry Christmas parade.
oh, I thought it was. I thought it was a Disney World.
So what happened?
Oh shit!
Well, the very Merry Christmas parade was going on, and there's all kinds of videos going on. But apparently, Santa's sleigh, that float, it fell over.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Collapsed,
sleigh
didn't it
tipped
collapse
on its
in or
side.
fell?
It fell over,
Oh,
like
okay.
forward.
The sleigh fell like 90 degrees, let's say.
Yeah. So he's hanging there because they're all harnessed to it. So he's safe. He's fine because he's harnessed to it. So he's just kind of hanging there like
He's dangling.
Yeah. What? He's literally
Upside down.
like he's stuck in the chimney, bro.
Oh,
He just
no.
he wasn't upside down.
He wasn't? I
No,
thought he was
no,
upside
it
down.
wasn't upside down because it came forward.
He was
just stuck in the
hanging.
thing.
No, I saw it on its
Oh,
side.
I have to look at it, but no, he was just hanging. He was okay.
A very compromising position.
Yes, a very compromising
Without question.
position. So I don't think they had the second parade. I never looked into that, but the video is pretty funny.
Oh shit!
When that happened?
Yesterday?
Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, it
One of
was
these
over the
last
last
2 days.
couple of days. It's making the rounds right now on the social media thing. If you look at like different
I'll have
sites,
to
like, I'm not
talk to
going to plug
Oprah
any because
about
it's
it.
not Mousefire. You can see it, and it's. I think it sounds worse than it actually was. I mean, he turned out to be okay, but it's just like, oh my god!
Now is he a real bearded Santa Claus?
I think they do use real bearded Santa Claus.
I think so.
Mm,
Depends. I don't know.
Disney seems like the place that
Can
would do
you
that.
text your expert?
Oh, he was an upside
I
down.
already
you're
know
right.
the answer.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is forward. It
I
fell.
don't ruin the magic.
It probably fell about
It's
80
real.
degrees forward.
There went my phone.
Oh wow,
I think it's under you.
that's kind of scary.
Yeah, he's just slid forward. Cheshire Cat's in his face.
Let me see.
And we'll have to share that on our Instagram page.
Yeah, that's the one that I saw.
Yeah.
He's just hanging there.
He is, and if you play the video with sound, everybody's just applauding.
Yeah.
And they're applauding him because they don't know what else to do.
It's okay.
Like, it's just part of the magic, right?
You're alive!
It's just part of the magic.
That's why he's Santa.
Dude, Alicia sent that to me, and I kid you not, I said, damn it, I was trying to get a suit. Like the Santa Claus. Or like, I'm trying to bump him off and become Santa.
Oh, man. That sucks to be that Santa Claus. But, oh, well. What are you going to do?
You know what doesn't suck is the Michelin Lights. And I didn't get an interview with Ralph.
No worries.
I didn't get a time. Haven't had an opportunity to sit and talk to Ralph. Shout out to Ralph of Hey Riverside, by the way. Yeah, dude. 26 years now. Michelin Lights.
That's crazy.
And they just keep getting bigger and bigger this year. They've got the full carnival on the side now.
Nice.
Have you guys made it yet?
I haven't
I
been
haven't
about.
down there.
no interest.
No, I'm not going.
I've
down
haven't
this
been about maybe 8 years.
Yeah, me neither.
Went last year.
'Cause it's always the same thing.
It's
That's
fun, man. You
I mean,
you
we
take
walked
a
by it
couple
last
hours
year.
and
No, I won't even spend a couple hours there. The lines are too long to get food.
I heard it was like uber expensive to
There's
park
no
there.
rides.
They were charging to
It's-
park there.
it's
now.
they've been
$50 to
charging
park.
for a while. I know a parking place where it's 10.
Yeah, we
So I usually do that one.
when we went, we went to Hepcat last year. We parked at the convention center, and that was the closest you could get to the Riverside Lights. And they said like, "Oh, are you gonna go to the Riverside Lights?" It goes, "Actually, I'm going to Romano's." It goes, "This is the closest place I could find to park," and that was
Well,
about.
closest place we knew you could find parking too.
Yeah.
Because you can park in the structures or whatever. You can find a spot if you hunt for it, but I didn't want to.
I didn't hunt very hard, dude, and I found
That's the problem. No
a
one wants
spot
to
on
hunt.
the structured
Yeah.
Market and 10th. Or Market
Yeah.
and 10th? They want to say it's Market and 10th. They usually have an easy parking spot in the structure there.
I had some friends of mine that work for the county courthouse in Riverside, and I said like, "Hey, do you ever go?" He's all, "No, we haven't gone because that means we'd have to go back to work because or
Yeah.
wait a while."
Yeah. No,
Or just hang out
don't.
late.
I don't have an interest. It's for the most part. I mean, I guess you could say I go to Disneyland all the time. Yeah, but their entertainment they offer different. The Michelin Lights are, while it's cool and it is something you should check out if you've never actually checked out. I mean, the lights are all the same. It's decorated. It's just a lot of people. Like I said, food is kind of overpriced. You put a carnival in there, man. You're just asking more people to come.
Yeah.
It's just
But you know
kinda
what,
not
man?
my thing.
I go there and they have the independent vendors and they have the artists and things that do that. So I'll pop in and I'll look at that stuff and
Yeah, but there's other times that those.
they're there.
Guys are
Yeah,
there too for
but
the
they
art
have
walk
the
and
holiday
stuff like
theme
that.
stuff too. So
And you know, there's a lot of lights going around. Did you guys hear about what happened in Rancho Cucamonga? Their big holiday lights and
The thoroughbred lane.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
Before you used to be able to like walk
Yeah,
walk
I've
through
done
it,
it. I've walked through it.
walk
a few
through it, or
times.
drive through it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that
Yeah,
place the
now
other day.
now you have to drive through it because they just have too many people. They said it like it's crazy. They said it's like Disneyland. They said they even had like the Hamburger Habit like was having their food truck there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
See, because I haven't been there. I didn't get a chance to go last year because it was too crowded. You got to get there. The year before, I went like right at dusk, and everything worked out because it's when all the lights switched on, and I was able to walk through with my kids. A lot of people go outside and they sell stuff. You know, they sell churros and hot chocolate and stuff like that. And most of it's for
Champurrado.
fundraising. They're fundraising for something.
tamales.
It's usually is kind of what it is. But it
they're
does
trying
get
to pay
packed.
off their light
I
bill.
mean, for a while, I thought I could see why you would do it drive to just get people moving through there. But I almost felt like enough people walk there. You should have just closed it off the cars and had everybody walk. But then that means you have to park in the adjoining neighborhoods, which
Yeah.
I'm sure the neighbors didn't like. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, I went over here to Gingerbread Lane here in Corona, and Candy Cane Lane in Corona, and it was packed too. I mean, it was really packed. I parked a couple of blocks away and just ended up walking up both streets and then back to the truck.
What's
I
weird
took Chris last week.
is I remember the ones in Chino when I was a kid, and I drove by there at night. Just drive
Oh, I
by the
forgot about
street.
those.
It's not there anymore. Like
Oh,
all
no?
the big stuff. I mean, there's like a couple of houses that do like really nice lights, and there's some people who do the lights from across over the street, but they're not there like how they used to be. Like I remember the big cul-de-sac house in the middle of the cul-de-sac had like a big old like circus tent full of lights, and now it's not there anymore. I guess it's new owners.
I feel like lights in general in neighborhoods have died down a lot, except for some die-hard patches, like certain lanes, like Candy Cane Lane or Thoroughbred Lane, big places for it. But if you don't promote that, like as a neighborhood, it kind of falls by the wayside.
No,
you
you know what?
get houses here and there.
I don't think so, because I think in the last couple of years, my neighborhood has had more. And there's no organized effort. It's just people that want to do it. Because
And
the price of lights now, especially because of the LED thing, the LED lights aren't expensive anymore, and they last so much longer.
They do, and
So I'm
they
not
look
pouring-
so much
I'm not
better.
pouring-
And they look so much better.
Yeah, that
Well,
first
I'm not gonna-
initial
yeah.
pouring of money into it is
Yeah,
all I had to put
I
in.
redid all my lights this year, and I think I did it for like $100.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to have you guys seen this house? It's below Santiago. There's an elementary school that's out there. It's behind a park.
Orange?
Is that
No,
Orange.
you're thinking of
I-
Susan
or-
B. Anthony.
Okay, so
That's way out there.
Right there by Santana Park. Not Santana Park, but there's another park right there.
Anyway.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
And so, anyways, there's a house that's out there. This house is all LEDs, and it looks like a football stadium. So
Wow.
you pull up, and it says tune your radio to like 88.5.
Oh, yeah.
I've been to that one
whatever.
before.
I've been
yeah,
to a couple different
Yeah.
houses like that.
Yeah, that's over by Susan B.
The
Anthony.
music coincides with the lights.
Well, you know what they don't do anymore? They don't do that house in Riverside, the Halloween one.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever go to that one?
Yeah, I've been to
The
that
Halloween
one.
house? There was a Halloween house where this guy, that's what he does. In his house, every 20 minutes would play a couple of songs, and his whole house would go with the song. But, I mean, more than that. On,
Oh,
like, the
yeah,
windows
yeah.
upstairs,
Okay, I
it would
remember
be
who
the
you're talking
mouse
about, yeah.
moving exactly. I mean, it was great. But, you know, you get the neighbors who are just like, hey, man, there's
Yeah.
too many people here, blah, blah, blah. And I get it. If I lived there, I'd be like, man, this is...
Well, that's the
I
big
can't
thing.
even leave my
what was-
house.
Oh, there's people parked in front of these people across the street. I mean, that's where we parked.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's-
well, Saturday night yesterday over on Gingerbread Lane, everybody decided to have their Christmas party. So all their friends took up the parking in front of the houses, which that's fine. You know, everybody put a bonfire outside and you get going and you have a couple beers and, you know, make nachos or whatever.
Dude, I always park right there by the bank and things.
I just parked further down the block, dude.
I just do that, man. I walk. It's easy.
Because it's that one street, that one end of it before the next street before
Mhm.
Taylor, and then not Taylor, whatever that other street is in between that one and Taylor.
Mhm.
And then the next half, they don't do that, so you can just park up there.
Oh, I just make it easy. I make my life easy, dude. I park, like I said, I park at that shopping center across the street from Walgreens,
Yeah,
and it's an easy walk.
yeah.
And then I can get in and out, no problem whatsoever.
Probably about the same distance as I parked. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, but I don't know. Mission Inn, they said something like 75,000 people showed up for the fireworks show, and
Wow.
then what's his name? Robin
Robin Thicke.
Yeah, Robin Thicke performed. And
Last
then
year it was
I
Kenny
saw a bunch of
Loggins.
tweets that were like, you know, it said over 75,000 people show up for this. People were tweeting out like, "Oh, let people in Riverside look at it first." And I'm like, "There's 200,000 people in the city of Riverside. You didn't think the majority of those 75,000 were from the city of Riverside? Dumbass."
I think it's 300,000.
I don't think it's that quite
It's
that
pretty
high. But
tight.
No,
over
it's got to
200.
be over 200 because I
It's
know
over-
like
it's over-
Ontario
It's well
Fontana-
over 200.
It's
I
over
know
230
Ontario
for
and
sure.
Fontana are like 200.
Anyway,
So you guys, we touched on this last time about resellers at Disneyland, and now Disney is revoking passes for resellers. Crazy
Dun dun
resellers.
dun.
And they're doing it very quietly and coyly. They're not making a big stink out of it unless it's an employee maybe, but
So
for the
you mean
most
they're
part.
just doing it, and so when those people try to walk in,
and they
can't
still
get
owe
in.
money.
yeah.
Yeah,
And they have to pay off the
signed a
pass
contract,
if they've
yeah.
purchased their pass, which it's, you know, people are at a stink and they're saying, hey, you know, if I want to do this and spend my money and then turn around and sell it again, that's my right as an American citizen. I go, no, it's not. Your contract clearly states you are not allowed to use your pass for profit.
Yeah.
So as soon as you do that, you're in violation of your contract.
And we're not talking about somebody like who goes, hey, you're gonna go, like if Rick goes, it goes, hey, there's an exclusive. Can you get it for me? Here's the money for it.
Yeah.
And then you maybe give him like a buck or two, you take him out to eat or something like that. We're not talking
Give
about
us
that kind
some
of stuff.
gas money.
We're
or
talking
something.
about
That's-
people who buy as many as they can and sell them on eBay.
You know, they're taking them away from AP holders who
Yes.
stood in line for a very long time to get this stuff.
Or sometimes like they stand online and they don't get it because it's sold out.
Yeah. That's
And
definitely.
then they create 2-hour waits for this thing.
Yes.
Personal shopping is a thing there too, because there's people that go out
Excuse
and
me.
will buy stuff because you can't get to the park, or it's an exclusive because you don't live in California. You can't get out here. That's one thing. The biggest thing no one has been talking about is how do they track this? It has to be from your pass if you're using your discount,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're using your discount, they're tracking you. They know what you're buying. So are they pulling that up and saying he's buying 10 of this item?
Well, not
repeatedly?
just that, but look. Just all they have to do is look for their eBay stores or Amazon stores.
Yeah, but are they really going to put in that much work to do it? Because you could. I can go through right now on Facebook, find those groups, and give you names of people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm going to. Is Disney wasting their time doing this?
It's possible if they're starting to go after people. How blatantly, do you have to be for them?
Well,
to
that's
see
what
it?
I mean.
Yeah.
But is it like, I don't know. It's just, do you really think they're going to do that? And then the article in the OC Register actually mentioned popcorn buckets. Well, the majority of the popcorn buckets There's no AP discount. So how do you go about that?
But you do have to scan your pass in order to buy an AP exclusive bucket.
Yeah, but the ones that they were talking about in the thing weren't AP exclusives. They're talking about the
That's what I'm
alien,
saying.
the alien one.
Maybe they do.
Not an AP exclusive.
The alien Santa hat one was it not?
No, was not an AP exclusive. The only one that's been AP exclusive has been
Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie. Yeah. No, not the other ones, but that one was specifically mentioned. It was like it doesn't match. So if literally
year,
you did that and just didn't use your AP discount, you'd be fine.
No, one of the first alien bucket was AP exclusive, so they just went with that. I think the AP Santa hat one. I don't think it was.
It's not. Because I have one. I didn't put a discount.
I don't know if it was a year before or that the zero one was. So I mean, it happens, but maybe not the particular one they were using. Could have just been a photo error.
If you think about it, if they're tracking it by AP, all you would really have to do was not use your discount, and you'd be fine.
But if it's an AP exclusive, they're going to scan it no matter what. And that's the thing, is if they're the limited edition ones, they're going to scan that. You know, they have the ways of tracking, though.
Now,
but as usual, Disney, when they don't say, and they wouldn't say, but there's no clear definition of what they're doing and what constitutes what they're going after.
Now, are these people banned from the park? Like,
if your pass is revoked, it's revoked for a year.
Yeah, but can you like buy a day and still get into the park?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know.
That's a good question.
If they have your photo.
Well, now everybody's passes now get scanned. You get scanned for having a pass.
Everybody gets a photo.
Yeah, everybody gets a photo. So
nobody gets a hand stamp anymore.
I think
ticket gets a photo connected.
Technically, I guess they could match it, but you're into some gray area.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I don't think so. But if you tried to, you wouldn't be able to get the discounts. And it wouldn't do you any good.
That eats up your profit because
to the park.
It's a good question though.
But no, you know, and not to jump on the defense of people who are doing this, but it's also Disney's fault for making limits on these things. You can buy 20 of them at a time. It's 10, I think, is the limit of most things. When they have a high limit, it's 10. And people do that, man. I mean, it happened recently when they had the Funko Pop. They did Harold from the
I talked about
from Matterhorn.
Yeah.
And it went from one day from 2? The limit was 2, then the day of it was 10. Mm-hmm. So, of course, you're going to buy 10 and you're going to turn around and sell them. So they're doing that. If they really wanted to cut down on that, they would cut down the AP exclusive purchase to 1.
Yeah.
1 throughout the life of that product. They can scan your pass and say, sorry, you already have a free button we've given you. You can't have one this week, but they won't do that with a popcorn bucket.
My AP magnet frame.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's Disney can be smart about it, too. It's not just, let's take away passes. Well, let's restrict.
Depends how in-depth they want to go.
Yeah, let's restrict how much we're letting them get, too.
All right, guys. You guys ready to take a break?
We got some music.
Yeah, we got some music.
We got some music from a band called the Sharpside of Riverside.
Are they a barbershop quartet?
They are a barbershop quartet. No, they're a ska band out of Riverside. Good stuff, man. We're going to play a song called Revenge Therapy, and then we'll play another jam later.
Awesome.
All right. Wiggum forever, Barney never.
Well, that was actually that was pretty rad.
I know, man.
That's
They're
good.
good, man.
That was a good jam.
They're
Yeah,
from Riverside.
They're from Riverside, man. They play. I don't know how long they've been together, man. Probably about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I've heard the
A little
name
bit.
before.
Yeah, I have too. They played that thing at White Park for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played.
The Riverside
They played out
Halloween
there.
Fest.
Yeah, I'm waiting to catch them on another show. I think they all go. Like he goes to school. The main guy.
Young guy.
He's in his mid-20s.
Okay.
He's in his mid-20s. Plays in a lot of. He plays in this band. That's his band. And then I told you tonight he's playing with the Maxis at Romano's. He's playing drums. I mean, I guess they play when they can. Small tours here and there when they can. They're getting, they've been played on Ska Parade and they've been interviewed by Dying Scene. Next month we should have an interview with them.
Nice.
Like I'll sit down with him over
cool.
a beer and
Very
just do
cool.
some shit. He knows a lot about Riverside punk rock and the Riverside ska scene, so should be pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll play another jam later.
Right.
But man, yeah, I was floored. He gave me the CD and I was like, oh, cool, because you know how meet people in bands and like, hey, why don't you check out my band? All right, yeah, cool. And most times it's like, yeah, it's all right. This band, I was like, good God, man, like I really like this. Like that's a pretty straightforward jam. But some of the other stuff sounds like some of that early Real Big Fish stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's got kind of that like goofy vibe, and you know what I mean. It's,
You know what really stuck out
not
to
quite
me?
as goofy as Real Big Fish, but it's good.
What really stuck out to me was the bass line. How
Yeah.
clean and crisp and the
a,
snap that
it's
it
a
had.
very good recording too, and it's like it's self-released.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, they got another album. I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna hit him up about getting that one.
You wouldn't happen to know
Next
where
time.
they recorded this, would you?
I don't have the CD on me. I actually have the physical CD.
Wow.
Dude, I actually want to say it's just somewhere in Riverside. Actually, I think he might have even done it. I have to hit him up. Let's save those questions for.
Yeah.
His name's Rob. So let's hit up Rob next episode and see if we can get something together. Ask him a bunch of questions.
We'll call him Rob B. Sharp.
Yeah.
Now at least.
Love it.
No, I told
Love
the,
it.
I told the dude, I was like, hey man, yeah, maybe let's do an interview. We'll sit down, shoot the shit, have a couple beers. Beer. It's one of those guys. So.
That was
should be good.
definitely.
You
that
know
was
where we
definitely
should do that
pretty
interview?
rad,
At Crown and Stash.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You want to
Yeah.
do it? I'll see if I can
Yeah.
set up with them. See if I can
Yeah,
set up. I'm off for. I'm already on break, so let's see if we can hook it up maybe right after New Year's. Choose a day like after the shots close and just
All
come
about
in,
it.
Have a couple
All
of beers and hang
about
out.
I got a month off, dude. I'm down.
This guy's on tracks.
Yeah, track system.
Lucky.
You know what else was pretty cool, man? Is
Ducky.
I haven't seen it, but the previews for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But you got to see it.
I saw it, dude.
You saw the movie?
I saw the movie. Yeah.
How was it?
I
It
did.
looks good.
Okay, so I knew nothing about this. Like I
Yeah.
ended up seeing a commercial just barely a couple of weeks ago.
It
I
wasn't
was
a
like-
lot of advertising compared to the other Marvel movies.
Yeah, so I was like,
Really,
what?
I've seen a lot of previews and things for it.
I have now because like everybody's
Well,
like, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's only
But-
the last 2 weeks compared to like where like you have hype for the other ones for like months in advance.
Yeah, it's seriously been like 2 weeks. I knew nothing about it. I saw it and I was like, what is that? Okay. All right, I guess. Didn't think anything of it. And I was like, oh, I'll eventually see it. And my son, actually our brother, Rob, said something about it. He's like, I kind of want to see that. And then I was like, yeah, maybe we'll go see it. Just one of those because I'm coming up on break and over break,
Right.
whatever. And then my son asked me, Dad, I want to go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I was like, you asked me to go see a movie? He hates going to the movies.
he hates doing
likes
anything, man.
He hates doing anything. He hates leaving the house.
But he likes Mario Kart.
Yeah, so he asked me to like I'll take him to the movies though. Like we'll go see a
He
Pixar
just
movie or something.
goes.
No, and then he'll be like,
See
"Did
a
you like
Toy
it?" Well,
Story
yeah,
movie.
yeah. But as soon as you ask him, like, "Do you want to go?" To the movie? No, he wanted to see this one though. So Rob and I took him. Wow, it's really really good. It earned that fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
It earned that fresh on Rotten
It
Tomatoes.
plays heavily on the idea of the multiverse, right?
It plays heavy on the idea of the multiverse.
Now listen, the main focus is Miles Morales, correct?
Correct.
And for those of you who don't know, Spider-Man started it up again with a new Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Wasn't he a second iteration of Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think it was actually in the Ultimate Verse. See, because the movie itself, I'm going to give non-spoiler, but I'll give some ideas. So it does play with the idea that one of the Spider-Man in the movies is the Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire type Spider-Man from the original movies.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one is more the one from the comics, of the stuff that he talks about that happened to him. And then, there, of course, there's Spider-Woman, who's supposed to be Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Ham, and all those. So just some of them that are even just made up, like the one Nicolas Cage plays.
Yeah.
Black and white. So it was just kind of cool. It's
Was there a Spider-Man 2099?
Yeah, there is actually. Again, not going to give spoilers, but
Yeah.
there you do see a Spider-Man 2099. It's actually kind of cool. It does play on Miles Morales and his kind of origin story, but the thing is that he knows in that universe Spider-Man exists,
Mm-hmm.
so then he is the second iteration
Right.
of Spider-Man and that he comes to be. But as far as the movie itself, it makes references to the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, and a lot of other just references to a bunch of stuff that's just, it's smart, it's unique, it's funny, it's got a lot of action for one of those kind of movies in a way that seems like it would be a superhero movie.
So, I mean, kind of from what I've seen, and I don't know if you remember because we talked about last episode, but the last episode of the Spider-Man cartoon where like you see all the different Spider-Mans get together, was it kind of like
that's me
a
what
modern
I thought of.
Modern telling of that story, like
The last episode of what?
the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon?
The original Fox Amazing Spider-Man
I never watched it, man. I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
in the early mid-90s.
yeah, because they just had like
Stan Lee was in it.
Yes,
That
the one
last
with
I've watched a handful of episodes, but I never watched
Yeah.
the thing. We'll bring up Stan Lee, actually. I'll talk about Stan Lee in a second. This was smart. So for a long time, there's been talk about making a live-action Spider-Man movie that's featured Miles Morales, but I don't really know they could ever make that work because people don't know who Miles Morales is for the most part. So this did work. Like I said, it's funny, it's smart, it's unique. It was as good as a Marvel movie. Like, it was as good as a live-action one. The soundtrack actually is really good on it, so like it would be interesting to even pick up the soundtrack. It's a lot of hip hop.
Tyler the Creator, I think, had a lot to do with it. Was it Tyler the Creator?
I know Post Malone, I think, had something to do with it. I don't remember Tyler Creator's name being on there.
Oh, okay, maybe not. I don't know.
Either way,
I did hear about a rapper being heavily involved in the soundtrack.
Post Malone even makes like like he's in the background of a scene.
That's
He's
funny.
in there. Stan Lee is even in it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Stan Lee, if you want, I'll give you a spoiler. If not, you can watch the movie for yourself.
Please do, because I'm probably not going to see it.
Well, Stan Lee has actually like a nice little chunk piece in there where it's very relevant to what he does. And I read something that said that was very poignant because it was the spirit of what he meant by Spider-Man in that scene that he's in. And then at one point he plays, what's the publisher's name? J. Jonah Jameson. Which he's always wanted to do. He always wanted to play J. Jonah Jameson.
I can see that.
He kind of did. It was really good, man. It
That
earned
kinda
its
does remind
earned
me
its
of the
meaning.
comic,
Like
the
I
cartoon.
laughed at some of the references. I thought the story was done well. There was some stuff I didn't see coming. It's got your typical Spider-Man villains. It's got the Kingpin is the villain. So you get the Kingpin, you get Tombstone, you see the Green Goblin. It's actually really cool. Totally recommend it. You should totally see it.
Very nice.
Yeah, it looks like a really rad movie just from the trailers. When I first saw it, I was blown away. I was like, wow.
Yeah, the animation's actually really good.
Yeah, I was
like, my son was like, this doesn't look real. I'm like, well, because he runs those lines between like, it looks real enough in computer generated stuff, but I don't know if he was thinking like, this should probably be a live action movie because it's written. I think it's written like a live action movie, which I think is what makes it. It's trying to be a live action movie, but it's not. It's computer animated.
It's more along the veins of the DC animated, where it's kind of gritty and real life and
No, I can't even
stories.
say
Or
that.
no?
It holds up to the Marvel. Like there's levity within the movie, so you can understand. Like there's jokes made within the movie that's like, okay, the story heavy line is the plot line is kind of heavy because of what goes on and the emotions it draws from you, but there's still levity to it that you laugh at the same time, which you don't always get in DC movies. So I don't know. I thought it was really good, dude. I would totally see it again. I'm totally gonna buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Very nice. Very cool.
Have you guys? It's not. I know it's just kind of throwing this in. Have you guys seen the trailer for Aquaman yet?
Yeah.
I want to see it. I watch all the DC movies.
Right.
I enjoy them. This one looks promising.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it actually does look promising. So
I don't know.
looking forward to it.
I'm still gonna go see it.
Dude, come on! They made an Aquaman movie. You never thought you were gonna see that.
Oh yeah, I know.
have to
To
go
quote
see
the
that.
Big Bang Theory, Aquaman sucks.
Yes, Raj. I was thinking the same thing actually.
They did it on Entourage. It wasn't that big of a deal.
I've kind of always thought about that with Aquaman. It's like I've never been remotely interested.
No one
until,
has. The dude talks to fishes.
Yeah, until now.
Fish.
Until now, Jason Moana. Is that his-
Momoa.
Momoa.
You mean Roman Reigns?
So he's.
No, dude, I don't buy him in an orange shirt. Sorry.
I'm
It's only a slight
interested. I'm interested. It looks
Like
good.
I said, I'll go see it. I'm not gonna rush out to go see it.
That's
right
a matinee. That's a matinee viewing,
away.
dude.
Yeah. Well,
I kind of want to go see it in IMAX. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've been watching movies either in IMAX or Epix or whatever the RPX just by sheer dumb luck. I've been watching movies because the time I want is like reasonable and the price is like, okay, it's not that bad before noon or whatever. So it's like I've been watching movies in all those formats.
Yeah.
So we also have the Captain Marvel trailer.
Okay, let me be the novice has non-comic book aficionado. I have no idea who this person is.
Okay, so I
That's
gotta
why
go.
there's a movie. No one does.
So I gotta go back. Okay, so originally Captain Marvel was who we call Shazam.
Why are you gonna
now.
go back? Way back.
Was who we call Shazam. Okay, that company that published that was Fawcett Comics. They went
He
out of
really is
business
going back. He's going back to like 40s.
because they went out of business, and the rights to Shazam, Captain Marvel, got to the DC. So then, since that name wasn't really in use for a while, Marvel Comics said like, "Hey, well, we got the name Marvel. Let's use this Captain Marvel." Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe originally was not a woman, because in here she's a woman. So there's gonna be two Captain Marvels. Just so you know, the DC doesn't call their Captain Marvel anymore. Shazam. Marvel calls her Captain Marvel. There's been a lawsuit, but I think what happened was DC could call it Shazam, Captain Marvel inside the comics, but they have to advertise it as Shazam.
Okay.
So, but
You still didn't answer who Captain Marvel is.
Captain Marvel, I really still don't know. It's just a hero that they
Whatever
made up.
whatever it says in your heart is
What-
Captain Marvel.
According to the movie trailer, she's a Kree.
Yeah, so there's an alien race, and there's a big thing called the Kree Skull War.
Okay.
So aliens are like in a different part of the universe, are fighting over the Earth. So this Captain Marvel is a half Kree.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, and I'm gonna butcher this, and I'm gonna get hate mail for it. I know it. It's okay.
Just send us email. We'll be happy.
The original Captain Marvel, like you said, wasn't a woman. It was Marvel.
Yeah.
First name, last name, Marvel. That was the Kree. And as like the dying breaths or whatever was able to give that power off to somebody. Almost Green Lantern-esque, but not
Yeah.
with the ring.
Okay.
I was going to say, man, these guys are giving you the long version. It's simple. She was born on Earth. She was a test pilot. Accident. Kree finds her. She goes into space. She's now a superhero. We don't know the rest.
That
So
is Green
Green
Lantern.
Yeah, it's exactly Green Lantern.
So it's just
we'll
a
see.
different Green Lantern.
Kind of
of.
origin. The origin
Yeah,
they've given her
origin,
seems like it's Green
of
Lantern.
course
like.
not named.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's supposed to play a big part. See, that's what I'm saying, because she's supposed to be the most powerful hero introduced in the MCU.
Wow.
So where she's gonna, because the movie takes place in the 90s.
In the Marvel Universe in general,
In
she's
the-
one of the most
yeah.
powerful ones. Yeah.
She's one of the most powerful. So the movie takes place in the 90s, and then so whatever happens in the movie happens. We're eventually gonna, at the end of the movie, see her leave Earth because she's not here. At the end of Infinity War, when spoilers, if you haven't seen Infinity War,
I
should have
haven't.
seen it.
I
Everybody's
should.
seen
I
Infinity War.
should have, but I haven't seen it.
when Samuel Jackson's character Nick Fury, before he disintegrates, he got a beeper, which is a throwback to the 90s, and paged somebody, and the symbol is Captain Marvel.
Gotcha.
So now we get to see.
He's
We're
calling
going
her.
to see her in Endgame.
Now, if you see Nick Fury, he looks a lot like whatchamacallit, Jules Winfield, because this is like 90s
Mm-hmm.
Samuel L. Jackson. So he's a lot younger. He has a little more fro, and he doesn't have the eye patch.
Anyway, I think they put out that trailer about a week and a half, 2 weeks before Endgame. It's foreshadowing that she's going to play a big part in Endgame. She has to.
Between her and the Time Stone. Time Stone's got to be at a big
And then
thing.
after that, she'll just move on.
After that, we see the end of this storyline of the MCU. It's going to reboot.
Yeah, they're gonna do like this is gonna be part 4 of the MCU.
I think this is the end of 4, isn't it?
This is it.
Yeah, this is the end of 4. So they're gonna just be like a reboot with new characters.
Bye, Captain America.
Which is kind of stinks because Guardian of the Galaxy was supposed to be kind of the forefront of the next phase.
Yeah.
Bye, James Gunn.
So they'll go more like
That I don't know
Space.
yet. But
Speaking of which, Endgame trailer also came out.
as we talked about, yeah.
So that's gonna be the, I guess,
And that was the big announcement, was the name Endgame.
yeah, the big name. So you could see what the universe looks like without a lot of the heroes. So like Spider-Man's gone, obviously. They're still looking for certain people. They think that Hawkeye is gone, and he shows up in the trailer as Ronin.
As Ronin.
So he's just gonna like another badass.
Traded in the bows and arrows for swords.
Seriously.
That's kind of what it is he's taking on more of a samurai type superhero type thing, where he's traded in the bows and arrows, he's swords, he's wearing black. kind of gone that route as a darker character. So there's a lot of people are saying it's foreshadowing the fact that the rest of his family disintegrated, but he didn't. I don't know yet, but
Tony Stark is still around, but he's out in space, and he's not going to look like he's at his last end. He has out of food, out of water, and he's almost out of air.
Cue Captain Marvel.
That's what they're saying. Cause,
to save him.
To save him. Because I don't know if I sent you the long trailer, but we had explanations of what was going to go on. But that's what they think. That who's in that part of outer space that could save Tony Stark?
Can you send that to me?
Yeah, I will send it to you.
Thank you.
I gotta find it, but I'll send it to you by
I
tomorrow.
think it's on the program.
Is this the end game trailer?
Yes, it's on
That's the
program.
extended one.
It's a 2.5-minute one.
I'll send but there's another one with explanations. I'll send to you.
Right. That
No,
was,
he's talking
okay.
about one with fan theory and stuff.
Yes.
Because the actual trailer itself is only 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Star Wars news. Got some? Who's got it?
We always got.
Star
Whip it
Wars.
out. Let's see it.
You
Who's got the
seen
bigger one?
Millennium Falcon on Galaxy's Edge?
That one looks pretty big.
That's pretty big, man.
Have you seen the dirt underneath it?
Dude, when I first
That's
saw
okay.
it, when I first saw that picture, I said, "Oh, is that from a new movie?" Because I didn't. Then I looked at the background. I go, "Oh wait, they're still constructing stuff in the back. That's at the park." I mean,
Part of his 14 acres.
I remember when I was a kid hearing about the full size Millennium Falcon and Pinewood Studios in London, and go, "I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go there." So this will be the best experience we'll have of going to the Millennium Falcon.
You have to put up with the other 200,000 people that show up that day.
Yeah.
So can I? Random thought that popped in my head. Now it's probably gonna get me hate mail again.
Just
Do
send
you-
us
Please
email.
do.
Hey, who do we send the email
Please
to?
do.
That is exocast@yahoo.com. Do you think we're quietly getting rid of APs so that more paid people will go in next year?
Interesting.
Maybe because of the blackout dates?
But you know what? It's not.
No, because if you quietly get rid of APs, that means more day-to-day customers will go in.
No.
It's not enough. I mean, you could probably get rid of 1,000 APs that are violating those rules, and it's still not going to be enough.
No, I agree, but
The solution's simple. You want to get rid of APs? You start the payment plan.
Yeah.
That's it.
See, and I was always under the impression that they would stop it, but it didn't. I was shocked.
They still generate money for them.
Of course.
So-
Yeah. And they're in the business of making money.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, I can understand not getting rid of it. It's a silly play. But
but that's good. It looks good, and every time they post something new about Galaxy's Edge, it just makes it look better and better. So I'm excited about that. Speaking of more Star Wars, holy smokes, have you seen the cast for The Mandalorian?
That one Mexican guy.
You haven't seen the rest of the cast then, right?
No.
Gina Carano.
yeah.
Wait, isn't she an MMA fighter?
Yes.
She is.
A very good one.
She was also on American Gladiators, the reboot. And she's done some good acting. She's,
Was she in Deadpool?
I believe so, beautiful and deadly. Carl Weathers,
Oh my God!
Nick Nolte. And then for other nerd fans, Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad, Emily Swallow. Emily Swallow from Supernatural, Omid Optami from American Gods, Werner Herzog. So this is a
All-star cast.
all-star cast with Jon Favreau as the executive producer and Dave Filoni being the head of creativity for it. Dave Filoni did all the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Awesome.
So they are setting this up to be a huge, huge deal. It looks beautiful.
And I just keep on seeing. I think of spaghetti western. I think The Man with No Name, Fistful of Dollars.
You know who they got to get in for a little bit on that then?
Clint Eastwood.
No, I was going to say Robert Rodriguez.
Oh,
They need to get some Robert Rodriguez action in there. Just directing an episode.
dude! I've always said what they should
Just one. Just
what
one.
they should
Just
have
give him a
One,
taste.
I'll be happy.
Just
I'll be
give 'em a
happy.
taste.
Just give me a
Hey.
taste.
What they
Yeah.
should have done with the prequels was have Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith write it with Robert Rodriguez directing it.
That would have been beautiful. That would have been a lot of fun.
So how long before you when it comes out will you wait to sign up for Disney Plus?
I don't know, man. I may sign up right away if they've got that. They've got the Loki stuff coming out. They're going to be. I know a lot of the Marvel shows are quietly getting non-renewed at Netflix.
Yeah.
They're more than likely going to get picked up by Disney Plus.
I was talking to a client at work about this actually yesterday. We've been watching Arrow at the shop where we started with Last Man Standing the other day.
Uh-huh.
Watched that entire first season, and then we're looking for something else, and we're like, you know what? Hey, throw on Arrow. So we put that on.
The first season?
First season.
First season was terrific.
And yeah, we're in the process of watching it right now. And a client was sitting in, I was giving him a beard trim, and he was explaining Arrow to me because I don't know anything about it.
It's had its ups and downs. Like there's some
That's
seasons
what I've
that are
always
kind of
heard.
blah. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was really great. I didn't mind season 6. I thought season 6 it ran a little bit slow,
Jesus,
but in the
how many seasons are there?
This is season 7.
Oh wow.
This is season 7, and it's season 5 of The Flash.
Okay.
And that's good series too. Honestly, the sleeper hit of that one is Legends of Tomorrow.
Now I've heard
It's just stupid fun. It doesn't take itself seriously.
really
at all.
quickly that they're going to do a Crisis on Infinite Earth with all these different shows.
Next year, every year, the last 3 years, this has been the third crossover they've done. They do a crossover with all the different shows. 2 years ago, they did a quick one. Last year, they did Crisis on Earth X. This year, they did Elseworlds.
That's what it is, Elseworlds.
Yeah.
And then next year, they're saying they brought in the Monitor during the Elseworlds storyline. So next year, they're saying it's going to be a Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Wow.
But the entire time with the Flash series, they've hinted at a crisis and Barry Allen just mysteriously disappearing.
So all of this
So
is
they've always kind of hinted at a crisis happening.
So this is all tying in together that's going to lead to another series.
It's all tying in to hit like the biggest crossover in DC history,
Sure.
which was in the mid 80s. It's called Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Uh-huh.
What they did is they had hundreds of different Earths, and they basically rebooted everything with one Earth. And everybody slowly throughout that series, all these Earths were disappearing or merging into other things, and they barely saved the last Earth from being, dismantled.
Mm-hmm.
And in that process, Barry Allen died. He sacrificed himself.
Yeah, because for a while they had two Supermans, and it just basically what it was. There was the old Superman from like the 40s and 50s, and then there was the modern Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally said, and they also had like Superboy, which really kind of never really existed in like our timeline that we know as Superman. So they kind of got rid of all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also like alternate timelines, like this real one with Batman from like the old Batman and the new modern Batman, where Batman married the Catwoman and the daughter was a huntress. So they kind of said like, no, we're just gonna have one continuous timeline and forget all this other stuff.
Uh-huh.
So they're kind of hinting at that being kind of their big crossover next year.
Okay.
So it won't have all the other superheroes involved, but it'll be like a big saving one universe type thing.
And
Yeah.
you could potentially, because of that, see all these universes merging. Because right now, the Flash and Arrow take place in the same universe. Legends Tomorrow takes place in that universe.
Okay.
There's Supergirl, which doesn't.
Okay.
Supergirl takes place in a different universe. And then I don't know about Black Lightning
No, Black Lightning doesn't take place in the
that universe either.
No,
Okay. So
you won't see Black Lightning crossover.
No.
okay.
Is that played by Sinbad?
Is there
Shazam.
in the grand knowledge of that, which is the internet, has anybody put together a timeline in which it is best to watch all the DC shows with what's given so far? Is there like an outline of watch this show, watch this series here, then watch this series here?
You can
That
actually
kind of like best explains how everything works.
Not really, but they kind of flow together where they don't really merge or interact until a new show starts.
Okay.
So like Arrow season 3 was the first season Flash had.
Right. Okay. That's
So they'll kind of interact there.
okay.
And they do some
Barry
interaction.
Allen's on it.
Yeah.
Now, is there like an outline of this that explains like
If you look it up, I'm sure there is. But I mean, I've been watching them long enough. I know.
Sure.
The only one that's convoluted is Supergirl because it didn't start on the same network.
That's why it's a different universe.
That's why it's a different universe.
Gotcha.
When they brought it over to the CW, they decided let's do a crossover and figure a way to do the alternate dimension kind of thing, different Earth. So that's kind of what they did there. They really need to find a way to bring that to the same.
I think that's why
universe.
Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to happen.
I hope so. It would make it a lot cleaner if they were to take that and make it all the same, that same timeline.
But they have that character that can jump between different universes because they're all parallel universes. So you just need to bridge a wormhole to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is
So they
Legends
have
of
that
Tomorrow
character
the
that
Legion of
does that.
Superheroes?
No,
Okay,
No.
that's all I need to know.
Legends of Tomorrow is the Rip Hunters time bureau,
Okay.
and they're kind of the outlaws, the wild bunch, the bad news bearers
Okay.
of that.
They're the ones who were supposed to screw up and weren't supposed
Gotcha.
to be heroes.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good show.
It's great,
it's-
man.
as
Honestly,
far as-
Brandon Routh is better there than he's been in any comic book thing.
Yeah, they do a lot of historical events too, which is kind of neat to see because they can go back and
Yeah, because
forward
I
in
know.
time.
Remember, there's one with George Lucas.
Yeah, it was a great episode. Actually.
That was actually a really good episode. But there's also one with it's totally gone. There's some that take place in Nam.
Yeah.
There's some that take place in the Old West. Like it's actually pretty cool.
Jonah Hex shows up. Constantine shows up in that one. It's a cool series. It's a lot of fun.
I wanted to go back real fast to Far From Home. The trailer got delayed.
I
Yeah,
don't know
Spider-Man
anything
Far From Home was delayed. Now, they first had said that it was because of the death of George W. Bush, or H.W. Bush, George Bush the first.
That's why the Avengers trailer got delayed.
So they delayed it a little bit. It was supposed to come out last Saturday. I looked for it yesterday, and it's not out yet. I think they're just waiting a little while to say, like, hey, let's just get these two out. Let's build up hype for this one, and then we'll build up Far From Home. Now, also, I've heard that it was released in Brazil, at their Comic-Con in Brazil, and they're kind of saying, like, let Brazil have their bragging rights. And
Throw him a bone.
yeah. I mean, you fucking live in South America, and it fucking sucks there. I mean,
Dude, I see some crazy videos from down there.
Yeah, we've seen City of God, so it's all fucked up there.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, from what people who've talked about it, basically it doesn't say explain when it takes place. It just says that Peter Parker is on a field trip. They need help in Europe. So Nick Fury shows up and he's like, "Well, I didn't bring my suit because how the hell am I going to hide it?" He's all, "Got a suit for you." So he's doing stuff in Europe. Mysterio, the guy with the weird globe head, and
Yeah.
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah, he
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
he's main character in it, and it's not quite sure. It's kind of ambiguous in the trailer if he's a good guy or a bad guy, because we do know he's a villain in the Marvel universe,
Or what he's going to look like.
or what he's gonna look like. Yeah.
Huh.
So it's been delayed. I thought it would be out next week. Looking for
Super Bowl now.
Super Bowl, is what they're saying.
No, I'm just telling you. That's what I think.
That
Super
would
Bowl.
that would be an awesome thing to do.
Because
Super
that's
Bowl
that's
or
why I
something.
think they dropped. Because why wouldn't you wait for Avengers to drop that during the Super Bowl? You just came out with a trailer in Captain Marvel, which is going to do big numbers, and then all of a sudden, less than 2 weeks later, you drop us another one.
I think
know
it
it's
comes
going to
down
have to do with what she's going to have to do with the movie. The hype is there for the both of them.
it, and you have to be careful of confusing the general public, because you're saying, wait, why is Iron Man here? Why is this going on? Why is he here?
I thought Spider-Man died.
Well, no, that too. You got that. Well, yeah, that too for Spider-Man. You got Spider-Man who's dead. Although we all know with them doing Doctor Strange 2.
Dude,
he's
that was the
gonna
most
come back.
heart-wrenching disintegration of
Yeah,
Infinity
but
War.
also since technically because of the way the licensing exists, Spider-Man still technically is a little bit
He's
separate
Sony.
from the rest of the MCU. Although I did find it interesting that in the credits for Into the Spider-Verse, Avi Arad is listed as the executive producer, which means there still is that crossover. They're still dealing with the Sony Marvel crossover stuff and making money from it because they know it's going to make money, and those characters are best kept at Marvel. So maybe we can actually get one day a good Fantastic Four movie.
I mean, Roger Corman's wasn't good.
Not if no one saw it. If you have to buy it only at Frankensons, it's not good.
Ha ha.
I think we're about ready for another break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
One more B Sharp song.
Yeah, it's been another song. Let's do this song called Invincible. This song's called Invincible by the B Sharps.
So I'm sitting at a tiny little dive bar in downtown Riverside, drinking another bottle while I'm contemplating suicide. Got a lot of dreams, but they don't mean shit, 'cause no one out there is going to understand it. Finish up my drink, now it's 2 a.m. Too drunk to drive, so I start walking. The stars up above stop moving overhead. I'm looking at the gutter invincible. No one can bring me down, I'm fucking invincible. I don't want you around. No, I'm falling down a tiny little alleyway in downtown Riverside. Wish I was home, but I don't know why. There ain't nothing waiting there for me, and I'm starting to feel like I'm out of OD. So I take another drink and look to the sky. For the first time, I'm feeling alright. Memories gone completely blind. I sure as hell don't need you tonight, yeah. 'Cause I'm fucking invincible. No one can bring me down, I'm fucking invincible. I don't want you around, I'm fucking invincible. No one can bring me down, I'm fucking invincible. I don't want you around, don't want you around. No! So don't come running if you don't wanna know what's going on. So don't come running if you don't wanna know what's going on. So don't come running if you don't wanna know what's going on.
So the B Sharps, man, with 100% respect and admiration, I totally hear the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones there, in the vibe of that music. I hear a little bit of Aaron from Real Big Fish as the vocal. Goes really well together.
I'm sure they will be very happy with those
Nothing but a
comparisons.
compliment.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
nothing but a compliment.
No, like I said, I was pleasantly
Really good
surprised.
band. I hope we get to see them live soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that one, man. You guys need to play a show so we can get out there.
Dude,
No,
they're pretty
they're
like
doing
sporadic with their dates.
No,
or-
when they get some dates, it's kind of often. It just seems like I caught them like just after they'd played a little run of shows
Gotcha.
there. So a lot of local stuff here, Pomona, just all over the place.
Sure.
Enough that you're like, it's driving distance. I can check that out.
What about a rehearsal, or we live feed it?
I don't know. Haven't talked to them
That'd be
about
something that'd be really
that kind
cool.
of stuff. We'll
Just a thought
Get
to
some
drop
action.
down to your buddies.
we talking about getting an interview, maybe at Crown and Stash,
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
pretty rad.
Come
Yeah.
Where's
down,
Crown and Stash?
drinking some beers.
Crown and Stash is at 2780 Cabot Drive, Suite 5-150, Corona, California.
Right now you can see Santa Claus daily.
92883.
Hey,
Inside
man.
lovely Dos Lagos.
Hey man, I took my
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
I took my son yesterday, and I know she's going to be out pretty soon, and with her new kid, right, John?
Yeah, Jenna.
She did a fantastic job, man. She was great with Anthony. You know, he's 10 years old. He doesn't necessarily know what he wants to do with his hair, but she sat there and she talked to him like he was an adult, and I know he very much appreciated that.
That's awesome.
Came out with everything really good, and I'm happy.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad.
So great customer service all around there.
Glad.
Hey,
glad. To hear
So
that.
a couple of weeks ago, I went to Acoustic Christmas. Almost Acoustic Christmas.
Oh, I thought you almost went.
Oh, I went.
Okay,
100%.
Was
Oh,
there any
he went
acoustic
all right.
bands?
No, that's why they call it almost Acoustic Christmas.
'Cause I remember the first year there was acoustic bands, and then Battery said, "Fuck this shit." We're
No,
playing
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
not
No,
plugged in."
actually, he talks about that. There's an interview with Mr. Brett that was going around that K-Rock had put out. That they said, fun fact for you, they asked us to play Acoustic Christmas, and we're like, we're a punk band, we kind of don't play acoustic, so sorry.
I've heard Suffer acoustically.
What?
I've heard the
Wait,
acoustic.
they didn't want
version of
to do a whole set, so it just was like, no, sorry, thanks guys, but that's we can't do acoustic. And they said, well, we still want you to play, so like, well, can we play electric? Yes, okay. And so since then, no one plays acoustic anymore. No, there are some acoustic songs that bands sprinkle throughout their set, but for the most part, it's electric. So I decided to go this year. Smashing Pumpkins was the headliner. I like Smashing Pumpkins. Wouldn't necessarily call myself a fan.
Uh-huh.
I know all their songs they play on the radio, though. Had a couple albums.
for the first 3 albums.
Yeah. Actually, the new one is really good. I kind of like it. But anyway, that's not the reason I went. Like, I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. To see the rest of the lineup, 30 Seconds to Mars played, who my daughter likes, Bad Religion, AFI, and the Interrupters. So I was like, oh, that kind of is like... That drew my attention to see, like, okay, I like those 3. Daughter would be happy with 30 Seconds to Mars, and I like Smashing Pumpkins.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it kind of is. Like, look at the price. Like, it's only $60. I would pay $60 to watch all those bands. I'll go. Screw it. So I went. They do that bit. It was first of all, it was at the Forum. The Forum traffic getting out there sucked.
You took Bella too, yes.
I took Bella and
Okay.
my other brother went too.
Okay.
So we all three went. Just bought seats up in the balcony. Don't care. Was like, I don't need to be on the floor. I'm not going to pay the price to be on the floor. But we went, got to the Forum. Parking was really easy at the Forum. Walked over there. We walked in when the second band was playing. Some band called AJR. Weren't bad. I know they have one. I can't remember what the song is they play on the radio, but it's not a bad song. The band wasn't bad. Caught maybe 10 minutes of their set before the interrupters. The Forum for Acoustic Christmas does that bit with a revolving stage.
Okay.
So you literally go from one band to the next. No setup time. Half an hour sets for the most part. The bigger bands got 40 minutes. Smashing Pumpkins got closer to an hour and a half. But it just rotated. AJR finished. Here comes the interrupters. Fire. Kerosene. They're so good. They're going to blow up huge, man. We keep saying this and saying this and saying this, but it's going to happen. 2019 is their year.
And we've been fans since we first saw them with Rancid.
Yeah, and they got a great crowd reaction. People knew their stuff. You know, spattering. Still, that's typical K-Rock fan. Not quite. Everybody knew she's Kerosene. They brought out Tim from Rancid. They played Time Bomb.
Oh, cool.
And then they played Family, which he guests on their albums too. Blew it up.
That's a good song.
Stage rotates. AFI. AFI did 30-minute sets. They just brought out a new EP, The Missing Man, which I'll talk about in just a minute. They were great too. A lot of fans for AFI. A lot of AFI fans. A lot of the people in the crowd knew those songs. Stage rotated again. Bad Religion. Oh my God, they got a hell of a reception. Bad Religion got a hell of a reception for their set. They played What Child Is This, their Christmas song off their Christmas album, which is actually pretty good if you don't own it. It's different. It was like the biggest irony of ironies is that Bad Religion actually likes Christmas music. And they do. They were sincere about that. Like, no, we really do. Like, it's an irony that we actually like the way
I remember
Christmas music sounds. So
they were one of the first bands. Like they did Silent Night on the Acoustic Christmas, and that came out like 94, 95.
Yeah. I remember hearing that. It was like, Bad Religion's doing Silent Night? That's an irony, right? But no, it's totally not. They had a good time with it. So stage rotated, and a band called Greta Van Fleet. They were probably had to be, other than Smashing Pumpkins, the biggest pop of the night for Greta Van Fleet, who I don't really know. I know the one song they play on the radio. They sound a lot like Led Zeppelin, like a lot like Led Zeppelin. The guy sounds like Robert Plant. He just does. I guess he and the guitarist are brothers, and then the other guy is just whatever in the band. But
sounds like Oasis.
they were okay. Not my thing necessarily, but they got a huge reception. Crowd really liked them.
I mean, you don't like Led Zeppelin, or you don't like Greta Van Fleet?
I didn't. Not that I didn't care for it. It was fine. I don't know it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone crazy for it either way.
Uh-huh.
So it was good. I can see why people like them.
Is that how you are with Zeppelin in general?
I like Led Zeppelin, but
Right.
I don't go crazy over Led Zeppelin. Like the same
There
way I
you
like
go.
the Beatles, but I don't go crazy over the Beatles.
Sure. Yeah.
So, So, stage
I don't
turn-
peg it for it being your type of.
It's not. It's
Your type of
not.
jive.
Yeah, no,
He
the-
goes crazy for Captain and Tennille, by the way.
Yeah,
Muskrat Love.
that's right. No, I'm the guy that started all of everybody listening to punk rock.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's,
yeah. That's and ironically enough, since we've known each other for as long as we've known each other, that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, no, Ryan says that too. Ryan's like, no, dude, it's you. You're the one that started listening to this stuff, and everybody just branched out to everybody else.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, yeah, I kind of was, but that's fine. No, I can tell you, Xavier had he had the Led Zeppelin box set.
Uh-huh.
We were younger, and I taped it off.
I
him.
could see
Yeah.
that coming from X.
He listened to it all the time. I just
Sure.
had the copy and was like, this is good. But then I found Bad Religion and Black Flag and the Misfits, and it was like, oh, I like this a lot more than what we were doing there. The communication breakdown, but whatever.
Yeah.
So the stage turned again, and it was 30 Seconds to Mars. Jordan Catalano can sing, dude. You know what I'm talking about? Jared Leto?
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
Catalano from My So-Called Life. They were entertaining. It was really different because he plays guitar, but he didn't. He was just singing. So
Kind
the
of like
stage,
Tim.
the stage only had the no, he didn't play guitar at all. He had a microphone.
Oh, okay.
But it was weird because they had this whole stage, and I guess looking at the stage, if you're looking at the stage, it would be stage left. Stage left, way in the corner was a drum set and a synthesizer over there, and the bassist and guitarist. The whole rest of the stage belonged to Jared Leto. The drummer is his brother.
Okay.
So that's the two brothers in the band, and it's just this whole big old stage that he had free reign to just run around and do whatever. He had this big old, not fake fur, but this
Sure.
big old thing just on, and he had
Like
had
a
that
bola?
crowd.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know, man. It was weird. It's like, what the hell is he wearing? Let me get to Billy Corgan in a minute. But what that dude had on, but I don't know. I'm like, I was intrigued by it. My brother would tell you, like, I didn't like it. My daughter did. I was very intrigued, and the songs that I knew, I was like, that was really good. I might have to listen a little bit more 30 Seconds to Mars because it intrigued me that much. But they were good. They were entertaining. Shot off tons of confetti. At one point, had big ass balloons in the crowd. So he
Nice.
invited a bunch of people on stage to dance, and it was just
Wow.
like, whoa, this is just like, oh wow, this is cool. It kind of was cool. Stage rotated, Smashing Pumpkins. I don't know what the hell Billy Corgan was
Okay,
wearing.
was he wearing a luchador mask
Talking
because
about
he's
president
No.
of NWA.
No.
Billy Corgan right there.
He had on the like eyeliner
Was
that
Cody
kind of
Rhodes
dripped
there?
down like he'd been crying,
Yeah.
and he had on a long ass jacket. Would kind of look like a wrestling robe, but a tighter fit. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looked like something like somebody who in Star Wars would wear a full length like trench coat
yeah.
type of jacket, and
Sounds
then
pretty
some kind
rad to me.
of some kind of skirt that went around his belt. I don't even know, dude. I was like, this guy.
He's a
looks like
showman,
He
sir.
like a
Sir.
space officer, dude. I haven't even no idea.
He is an artiste.
They started off with a couple of songs off their new album, which people didn't. I heard it. I recognized the song because I heard the album. Alexa played it for me one day, and I just was like, "Oh, I recognize this song." And it was like, okay. Then they got in to Today, and they played the hits, which
Sure.
they did. It took me a little while to get into the set because they started off with songs they didn't like. People didn't know.
Yeah.
Then it kind of took off from
It's
there.
that rough takeoff.
Yeah, that rough, like, dude, I don't know if you should start with some song somebody knew, a little bit more energy. Well, I'm so used to bands starting off with punk bands. Okay, we're going to start with a song that's just a bunch of energy, and it's like, that's not really Smashing Pumpkins, though.
Right.
He didn't start with Cherubrock.
No, that actually was one of the last songs they played. Cherub Rock was actually like the last 3 songs they played. Hits of the Night, James Iha played Friday I'm in Love.
Oh wow.
They played that, and it was really, really good version of that Cure song. So it was totally entertaining. I'd watch him again. I would contemplate going to Acoustic Christmas again if the lineup was that solid of bands that I liked. The next night I did watch because the webcast the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
I did watch Bastille and Death Cab for Cutie the next night.
Uh-huh.
So that's always an option too to webcast it. But I mean, live is it's always kind of cool for the price too. $60 wasn't that bad for all those bands.
Sure.
So for especially Smashing Pumpkins, I was like,
Sure.
well, I don't know where I'd see Smashing Pumpkins for $60.
I think just like when they toured, just like a couple months ago, it was like over $100 for tickets.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
it was totally worth
Yeah.
it. I was like, I'll go to see Smashing Pumpkins to say I saw him for $60. Like the rest of the lineup
You didn't
was that
see him
solid.
on Rogan's podcast?
No, dude. Rogan's podcast is too long. I keep meaning to like. Somehow I
Yeah.
found myself with more time to actually listen to podcasts rather than watch TV, so I need to
Sure.
start listening to it, or selectively anyway.
Sure.
I just
Like,
watched
I like the
10
guest.
minutes
It's
clips
good
of Rogan's.
background. It's good background.
Yeah, that's
noise.
kind of the way I would treat it.
Yeah.
Is like that. So I think I'll start doing it
what
like
was that?
that.
I watched the 10-minute clips they have on Rogan's podcast.
Dude, they do these things called supercuts. That's it. Those are pretty rad.
Oh, really?
That gives you
The basic.
the
breakdown.
Danny
Potatoes
Samaro,
part.
I'm telling you, this is fucking awesome. Danny Samaro.
Hey, did you go? So has anybody listened to the new AFI EP?
I have actually.
What, did you listen to it, Rick?
I've heard the songs individually, but I haven't listened to the whole EP.
What did you
It's on iTunes. I like it.
Yeah, it's a kind of
Pleasantly surprised.
yeah, it's a throwback to the
Um,
older stuff.
That's what I felt, kind of black salesy.
But it doesn't sound like anything
it's-
else either. It's weird.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that their progression, like they always do.
Yeah.
But it did have when I put it on, I was like, okay, I'm either gonna like it or I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how I am with AFI. I started to play it. I was actually driving to Harbor Freight to go buy Christmas presents, and when I was listening to it, I was like, okay, what were the... Sorry.
Get Dark is the
yeah,
single, and
Get
then Trash
Dark-
Bad is the other one.
Trash Bat. I
Yeah.
listened to Get Dark first, and I was like, all right, it's pretty cool. Then I listened to Trash Bat, and I like that one a little bit, but a little more faster pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, you could tell the tone difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of made me think of Black Sails, even All Hollows. Just the tempo was a little bit faster. It was like, okay, I
Yeah.
could.
That might be the fastest song on that album.
Yes. Okay.
Might even be that.
Is the album already out?
Oh well, it's only an EP, so there's only 6 songs. 5, 6 songs. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'll look it
either.
up right now. But none of them sound alike. Like
No.
none of them. They all sound different. You
No.
don't get a real feeling of what the next song's going to sound like by one song. Which
I
think
was
that's
I was
typical AFI.
I was cool with it though. I liked it. I was like, okay, all right, you won me over this time.
It's 5 songs.
And that's the total AFI camp nowadays. Though is you either love everything or it's like
And that's coming from an old
that
school
early
AFI.
shit.
That tends
You
to
know,
be me.
it's the two camps. It's the ride or die or the
Oh, I am this
Or the
way
pick and
because of
choosy.
you.
Dan is an answer that and
Just-
stay fashionable fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Dan
evolved
is-
with the band.
Dan is the ride or die,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Caesar.
Which-
Hey Caesar, what's up?
which SNL had that skit last night. I don't think you guys got a chance to watch the video,
The Weezer one.
the Weezer one.
I pulled it up on my phone. I got as far as that. I have to
Oh
admit.
man, it was hilarious because it's that same idea.
Oh wait, hold on. Something on SNL was funny this season?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause they've been getting shit on bad.
Oh, dude. I mean, I think it was very specific to you had to understand it to have a good laugh at it. But if you're an AFI fan, it's kind of that same boat where it's you either only like the first couple albums, or you're total ride or die and you love everything and you evolve with the band.
Yeah.
And that's the way Weezer fans are.
Yeah, because what's that one? Pinkerton doesn't like anything else.
Yeah.
No, and Pinkerton is one of their better albums. You know, there's stuff they've come out with in the last 5 years that it's like, dude, you're turning into 21 Pilots. You know, the way it sounds.
Weezer is.
Weezer,
Oh
dude.
shit!
Weezer's put out some songs that sound very 21 Pilotsy. They, of course, the big one right now, of course, is their cover of Toto,
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like
which sounds exactly like the
Toto.
original.
Yeah. I'm like, I go, come on, where's like their bass lines and
Yeah, so the entire skit is Matt Damon being the Dan, the ride or die Weezer fan, having an argument with Leslie Jones, who is the first 2 albums are the only things that were good. So
Okay.
for that, man, it is a
You
great
did send
skit.
it to us too, so
It's
I
a
think I'll
great
watch it.
skit for
I'll
that.
check it
So
out.
Check it out, man. We should post it too because it was a fantastically fun skit. If you understand it, if you don't, you're like, okay, this is kind of stupid. But you know, the other people in the background. Eventually, one of the ladies is like, you know what band I always liked? Yellow Card.
Yellow Card.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Matt Damon,
watching
and
me
Matt
watch
Damon
Ocean
says-
Avenue was a good song.
and Matt Damon just rips into her because of that. So it was great. Dude. It was great.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah,
Hey,
that's good stuff.
Did you guys see the music lineup?
I did actually.
I saw it. I just don't remember.
I'll be
it.
honest with you. Sunday, was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday intrigues me.
Sunday intrigues me.
Go over the lineup.
It does, but the
It's just
lineup
that.
is not strong enough for me to
I'm
go
curious to know who the headliner is just
until
with
they
that
announce
lineup.
Rancid or Pennywise. That's what I think. I think it's either going to be Rancid or Pennywise as the headliner on Sunday. But I don't know. I mean, we don't know. Okay, so Friday night is Suicidal Tendencies, Hate Breed, Sick of It All, Bleeding Through, and All Hail the Yeti. I'm intrigued by that night, but I'm not necessarily a metalcore fan or crossover 100% completely. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know that I check out all that. I mean, Sick of It All, we all know I like Sick of It All.
That's suicidal.
Bleeding Through is good. Hate Breed is good. Suicidal is good. But I'm not enough of a fan to be like, oh man, I must go to that. So I don't know. We'll see. Saturday is Limp Bizkit pass.
Hard pass.
That's when we leave.
I'm just gonna pass on the next day. On to the next day. The next
I mean,
day,
I'm surprised even Olympus is still around and be playing. This
Actually,
kind
they're
of
just coming back. They're just coming back. So
stuff. I thought
I
we
mean,
just
And they're
got-
doing it for
I
the
thought we
nookie.
got rid of them.
Yeah.
I was hoping that.
Someone would be.
Rude. Rude.
Hey, they're doing it for the nookie. Come on.
Sunday,
blame him.
Sunday's
We all.
headliner is
We all.
unnamed yet. I don't know what they're waiting on confirmation or just to make it.
That's
a
what I'm
surprise.
saying. I'm curious to know. Whether it's Rancid or.
It's Rancid or Pennywise, man. I can't
Now
see.
social distortion.
No. Looking at the rest
I'm,
of the bands,
holding out for hope that it will be a good surprise.
right. Me too. I could even see Offspring in that. I don't know why I see Offspring there, but I kind of do. But the rest of the lineup is Fear, Dead Kennedys, TSOL, Anti-Flag, and Voodoo Glow Skulls. Looking at just Fear, Dead Kennedys, TSOL, and Anti-Flag alone, it's going to be somebody that has some deep punk rock roots.
Dude,
Yes.
TSOL is
That's
playing
what I'm
tonight
saying.
in Riverside.
Yeah, I know, but it has to be somebody that has some deep punk rock roots. 'Cause
Hey,
the other-
maybe
that's
it's Minor
very,
Threat.
that's a very, very throwback.
Okay, right.
I was waiting for somebody.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, Ryan said that, and then I was like, "Nah, bro." I'm like, I'm waiting for them to drop Rancid.
Oh,
or
did he
Pennywise.
say that?
Yeah, he did. He put the lineup up and he shared it, and he was
He's
like,
like, Minor
Threat
Threat.
with like four or five question marks, and I was like,
That's
"Bro,
my guy.
we're gonna get Rancid or Pennywise." That's
You know what?
that's
I even think of
He would say that.
Minor Threat. They wouldn't play that. They
Love
wouldn't
you,
play
Ryan.
Well, they wouldn't play this to begin with, but then you're not going to see Minor Threat would justify more than a $79 weekend,
that. Yeah, they were like,
which they won't. They're
$20.
not doing it for the money. No. You could get a lot more money than $79 for the weekend. This place is too small for a Minor Threat reunion. You ever been to
Yeah,
music?
no, it ain't gonna happen.
No.
Never been to music. This place is not where you do a Monster.
It's like going to the OC Fair.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's just in one of those hangars, dude. It's not very.
That's
not
the
very
hangar
big.
where they have all the OC Fair shows. It's the same hangar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's that's the place. $80 though for the weekend. It's not bad.
No, dude, no. Music, if you're into the bands, the weekend price is always amazing. It's always amazing if you're into all the bands.
Yeah.
I don't know. This lineup I find to be kind of weak. I don't see myself going to this. The headliner on Sunday has to be. I'm not gonna lie to you. If it's Rancid, I'd probably say yes. Screw it. Let's go. I wouldn't pay just to see Fear, TSOL, Dead Kennedys. Like, I wouldn't pay.
Well, what is it daily?
Probably about 35.
You wouldn't pay
$35
$35 to see all of those bands.
I don't know. I'm pushing it.
Okay, hold on. Voodoo Glow Skulls. I have yet to. I haven't.
Oh, you
seen
haven't seen
them.
them with F by-
I haven't seen
with
them with
Efren?
Efren. No.
Oh, dude, they're okay. Let's go.
So okay, I'm down with that.
This doesn't
Sunday?
sell out. So
Sure.
It doesn't. Well, it won't sell out for a while, and I guarantee it'll only be about $35.
Anti-Flag. It's been a very long
Anti-Flag
time
is
since
very
I've seen
good.
Anti-Flag.
Anti-Flag
I
with
always
AFI
liked seeing
and Rise
Anti-Flag.
Against were very good.
TSOL has been a very
All right,
long time
Dan.
since I've seen
You
TSOL.
twisted
They're
my
they're
arm.
playing
Let's go.
tonight. The Dead Kennedys. I know it's not with Jello. Okay, and I've never seen them.
We just talked
Sure.
about Fear on the last podcast.
Who is
Let's go see Fear.
Uncle Lee.
singer for Dead
Yeah.
Kennedys now?
The guy, Brandon Cruz from Dr. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy or Courtship from Eddie's father, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're still around playing, obviously it's worked out okay.
Well, yeah, the Misfits are still playing too. Yeah, no, it is. They're still
So,
making money.
All
All right, dude. If you want to go, let's go. After the New Year, though, we'll deal with tickets after the New
Yeah.
Year. Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Sunday we're going then. All right. And it ends early too because it does
Perfect.
It all knows
Just
all
how I
these,
want it.
all these punk rock girls go to bed at a reasonable hour now. So
That's all the more better reason to go on Sunday because we can be home early and we don't have to worry about it because we all got to work in the morning.
yeah, and I'm not ditching. Actually, is that
Reach.
before spring break?
March
check the
10th
date.
is
March
March
10th?
10th. It's
No,
got to be
no, no,
before
no.
spring break
No, it
because
is
isn't
before
that
spring
in
break.
April?
No, well, it varies, but mine is the end of March.
Oh,
It's
okay.
usually around St.
That's
Patrick's
the week
Day
before
now.
I go on that trip up north. Oh, that's what I was worried about. I was
What's
worried
that, the
about it
middle
being
of March?
the weekend I came back from the trip up north
Mhm.
that I always take. So okay, all right, we'll go. We'll check it out.
I knew I'd get them. Works every
We'll
time.
talk about that on the April podcast, the Extraordinary Culture podcast.
What else we got?
Wrestling. You guys saw WWE?
Well, hold on, man. Let's talk about Made. 'Cause
Not
this would
right
be a
now.
segment break anyway.
Not right now. I'm chewing the peanut brittle.
How about this? How about we take a break and then we'll come back and then we'll talk about some other stuff. All right?
All right.
Perfect.
We here at the Extraordinary Culture Podcast love beer. And Dan, what is one of our favorite breweries?
Well, Chino Valley Brewery.
What makes Chino Valley such a great place?
It's their fresh, handcrafted beers. They have Geeks Who Drink Trivia every Wednesday night. Taco Tuesday every fourth Tuesday of the month.
Where are we located at?
1609 South Grove Avenue in the city of Ontario.
Or you can visit them at ChinoValleyBrewery.com. And we're back from break. We're coming up to our beer segment here, and this segment is brought to you by Made Shop in Riverside, who has just completed their 1,800 square foot expansion. So perfect. If you still haven't finished your Christmas shopping, head down to the Made Shop in Riverside for those unique, one-of-a-kind gifts. 6520 Magnolia Avenue in Riverside, or MadeShopRiverside.com. What do we got today, guys?
We have a Belgian ale, strong golden ale from Delirium. It's Tremon's Belgian strong ale. And usually we open the beer on the air. This one I wanted to air out a little bit so it opens up and like gets a nice.
That had
like how
a
you do
cork
with
in
wine.
it?
You had a cork in it.
Yeah, man, that's some fancy ass beer.
Fancy beer.
Damn Belgians.
I like it.
Pink
I
white people.
like it.
Yeah, man, Belgian, which means it follows that Bavarian rule, right, Xavier?
Correct. So that means they just have those most basic ingredients, which is malt, hops,
Barley.
yeast, and barley, water. That's it.
Mhm.
They don't do anything fancy with it.
They just tool with the amounts and how they work with that stuff.
Exactly.
with you, sir.
Now, if we had proper glassware, you could see like the lacing when you pour the head and this rich, nice, beautiful head on it.
Awesome.
But it's cold, so cheers.
Cheers.
So let me tell you how I got this bottle.
Please do.
So I have a client, Chris,
Belgian.
awesome guy, whole family, awesome people, great people. They do jiu-jitsu. They do it at UFC gym. I do it at No Borders. But they just came in one day, saw us. We hit it off well, and I've been cutting their hair ever since. So really good people. he gave it to me for getting my blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
What does that mean exactly? Is that like
It's
last
a promotion.
step, first step?
For just now I'm entering into. I'm not somebody that just walked in off the street.
You're not a
There's
novice
some
anymore.
progression. Yeah, exactly.
You're not the one getting thrown. You're throwing people.
I can. Hey, you can get thrown by anybody. I mean, it's just starting my progression. Just moving on. That's the whole point of this, is to progress and grow. And so I finally got moved out of the first level. That's
cool,
a
man.
good thing.
Awesome.
So this was a gift from Chris and his family to me. He said this is his favorite beer, and he wanted me to try it. I was like, I got just the place to try it. So
It is super smooth.
Yeah.
For being a Belgian golden, yeah.
Yeah,
it's really
I
nice.
thought it was going to be a little bit hoppier.
No,
Belgians typically aren't hoppy.
they're more malty.
They're malty, and they have that really yeast flavor.
Mhm.
Now, it's funny, like, sometimes you'll taste that yeast flavor like in a Blue Moon.
Yeah, you
Or,
get
Shock Top.
that sweet little aftertaste.
That shock top flavor, that's what they call the
Oh, yeah,
Belgian yeast flavor.
So this is an 8.5 ABV.
he's gonna tear you up if you ain't careful.
That's why we're sharing
This
it.
is a sipping beer.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's oh my gosh, this is actually really good. I can understand why he really likes this beer. It's smooth.
Yeah, if you're looking for something when you're going to a brewery and you're not sure what to get, a Belgian is really not a bad way to go, because it's going to be the most simple of ingredients, and it's just going to be toyed with the way they want to perfect it, the way they like it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get that frou-frou added extra high hop content, or
Like a double IPA.
like a double IPA. You're not going to get that fruit infusion or something like that.
Yeah.
To change it up. It's a good, if you're starting to get into beer, besides blondes and wheats, which are very low ABV, very straightforward. You've probably had a blonde or a wheat beer, a hef somewhere, like a Shock Top or a Blue Moon. This is kind of the next step up.
Mm-hmm. Now, question: is this close to a triple?
No, I think it's just like a regular Belgian IPA.
Yeah,
Triples are a lot stronger, and you
Yeah.
could, I mean,
Okay.
they're
It's gonna
very
knock you on your
yeasty,
ass.
very sweet.
Okay.
They're good, but they do kick your butt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Chris, thank you so much. This was an awesome beer.
You know what else is a pretty good beer, and it's just off, continuing conversation, is the Resilience IPA that from Sierra Nevada. They've brewed 1,000 breweries, have now jumped on to, and we talked about it at the last podcast,
yeah.
all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds that are being made from this beer across the country are going to victims of the campfire up in Northern California.
Wow.
So I actually got to sample it for the first time on Friday.
Oh.
And it does not look like an IPA. It is very, very red in color.
Wow.
And
Now we're talking.
And I think that was intentional.
Uh-huh.
It almost looks like an ambery glow.
Uh-huh.
Proceeds are going to a fire, really.
Right. Sure.
So I think that was the malts they used for that were specific for that purpose.
Uh-huh.
Not a very heavy IPA.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's got a nice flavor to it. Not a sharp backbite for those people who don't like extra hoppy beers.
Uh-huh.
But it's smooth. It's about a 6%. I think it was like an 87 IBU. So it wasn't intensely hoppy.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, man. It was good. So I know Chino Valley's got theirs coming out this week.
Yeah, it'll be coming out on the 20th. And we brewed it about 2 weeks ago. That's what the usual process of time to brew a beer.
Yeah.
So it's going to come out on the 20th. And like we said, 100% of the proceeds will be going back for this foundation.
So
to
how
support
do
the fire.
how do I go get one at Chino Valley?
You just go into the brewery. It's at 1609 South Grove Avenue, Ontario, California, 91761. Look us up on ChinoValleyBrewery.com. Go in there and say, I want the Resilience IPA, and they'll be happy to serve it to you. And I'm not sure if, I know we're going to be doing the pints. I'm not sure if we're going to do anything to go. But
Breaking my heart, Fredo.
since I have some pool, I'll get some of us for us.
There you go.
I think that'd be a good January beer share.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, right on. Well, good. That's good to see all those proceeds going to the victims.
It's a good beer to relax to. Maybe sit back, watch some wrestling.
Did they have this at Citizens Bank Arena?
They did not have this at Citizens Bank Arena.
They should have.
They should have.
They
but
probably make a lot of money. It's all for charity.
I'll tell you what, though, the beer at the Citizens Bank Arena was cheaper than it was at the RMA.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Not by much, but it was cheaper. It was cheaper. I wasn't
Anything
drinking
helps.
that night though, because
Anything
I was with the family. So
I didn't drink that night because it was a Monday,
that too.
Smart.
and I had to drive home.
That too.
But we were there for a reason.
Yes, the SmackDown Live holiday tour, who came through Ontario on December 10th.
That was for the Belching Beaver.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
So Rick was able to hook it up with some tickets to SmackDown, so we went and saw SmackDown.
Rad.
Super cool, dude. It was the first time I took my kids,
Yeah.
They like it?
and they loved it.
The tradition
Anthony and
continues.
Ruby are like, you know what? It's kind of cool to watch this on TV, but hearing all the chants slide,
Yeah.
you're like so addicted to it.
That Rick and I started. We started a few chants.
I always tell. Oh, I've told people this story before about how we've mentioned it before. Just our stories from years of friendship about how we were all at the same wrestling event at the Orange Show at the time. We didn't know.
and we didn't know each other.
But yeah, I always mention that to people when they ask like how long we've known each other. That's always one that I throw in, and they're like, "What? You guys have known?"
Well, it's funny because that happened to me on Monday. I ended up a guy I used to work at Kmart with ended up being like a section next to us, and I didn't realize until he posted pictures the next day.
Who was that?
His name is Andy Grossnickel.
I know Andy.
Yeah, Andy
Yeah.
Grossnickel.
That was
He was
Casey's
there, man.
brother.
Yeah, Casey. I couldn't remember his brother's
Yeah.
name.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool,
but
cool.
he posted pictures the next day of his kids in the seats. Dude, you could see me. I full on photobombed his pictures. It was great.
Oh, wait a minute. He was in front of us?
No, he was in that section on the other side of the ramps.
Oh, okay.
You know the other kids who were doing all the chanting in the other side?
Yeah.
To our right?
Yeah.
In that other section?
Okay.
That was his family.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
So
Right
the
on.
arena was now Citizens Business Bank holds about 9,000 people.
It can hold more if you pack them in like rats, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I think
that's a pretty
Metallica they
fair
had like
number, right?
14.
Yeah, but you're using the floor too.
Sure, for a WWE event, yeah, 9's about a
9
good
to 10?
number. Yeah, 9 to
Okay,
10.
so it was maybe half full because they didn't use the upper section at all.
Sure, they probably black it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I would say between 4,000 and 5,000 people, Rick.
Easy.
It was a good amount.
Mhm.
Every seat in the Business Bank Arena is really good. Oh yeah.
Look above the end.
Me too. I'm right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
You should post that picture.
So tag me in that photo, dude. They only used about half the arena.
Funny part is I'm the only one watching this show. You're on your phone.
I think I was putting stuff on the page. I keep losing my fucking train of thought, dude. Thanks. What was I saying? They only used half the arena for like the 5th fucking time that I've said that. But every seat was really good.
Sure.
The performers, came out and you could tell they were having a good time. And the thing about this is, since it's non-televised, they have a good time with it. They get to mess with each other and mess with the crowd
Yeah.
a little bit more, which the New Day in the bar totally did.
That's
Mhm.
When
rad.
we saw them, so we got to see. I'm gonna give thing. If you could actually check our Twitter, and I ran down all the results, but we saw Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke, Rusev. The main event was Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. We saw the Iconics, who I love, dude. I love the Iconics
Against Lana.
against Lana. Yeah, in a dance off, and then it turned it. I put that on Twitter, on my own Twitter,
Yeah.
the dance off, and I got like so many likes and retweets from that.
That's funny.
It was funny. So it was just a good time, man. The New Day, the bar. Well, we saw like maybe 6 or 7 matches total.
I think it was about 8.
Yeah,
Six,
the whole thing was
between
like
6 and 8.
between 2.5 and 3 hours. That it was. It was a lot of fun. It was reasonably priced. I would definitely see wrestling there again.
Oh, it was a great venue. for
Even the
wrestling, man.
merchandise was fair.
It was
far as
concert
prices.
price merchandise. It was nothing out of the ordinary. Did you watch SmackDown the next night?
I did notice some of the Asuka and
A lot of the spots
Charlotte
were
stuff
very
was
similar.
the same spot. Yeah, I told him that too. I bet you we'll see some of these matches tomorrow.
Yeah,
and we'll see some of the same spots that we did tonight as they're trying it out.
Yeah, and we've done that before when we've seen WWE live, as we've recognized spots from TV that they used back on the thing. But it was nice to see some of those spots and see that, and I go, you can tell, these guys haven't wrestled in a while against each other, Asuka and Charlotte Flair. So that was kind of their practice run. It was a dry run of, okay, let's go through some of these big spots, and if someone hit a moonsault a certain way and there was a counter, you saw it on TV and you saw it at the show. I thought the really cool thing, though, was in the main event, it was Ms. Daniel Bryan. Miz played the face.
Which he didn't on Tuesday.
No, he didn't.
No, they're trying him out. They're going to turn him. He's going to eventually turn.
Huh.
Like, yeah, he totally played the face in that match and was over. And was
Yeah.
over as a
Wow.
face. So, like, we'll see that very soon.
And he even cut a promo after the match, and was talking about it. He goes, "Wow, man, I've never been cheered like that." He goes, "You guys were for me. Thank you, this and that." It was really cool.
Huh. Good for him.
Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely something that we'd do again. I know the next WWE tour through this area is NXT in Riverside.
Yeah, so Rick and I are going to go to NXT in Riverside in end of January. So they'll probably hear that on the February podcast. But
That'll
that's what we
be
got
cool.
going on. So we've got that. Hey, today I watched 30 for 30, 42-1 about
Yeah.
James Busted Douglas.
Man.
It
What'd
was
you
good.
think?
I thought it was really good, dude. So, okay, so I was thinking about this when I was watching it because I remember where and when I was at when we got told that Mike Tyson had lost.
Uh-huh.
And it was at the swap meet.
Oh, wow.
We were at the swap meet, dude. We were at the Tyler
Chino or Van Buren?
Van Buren. We're at the Van Buren swap meet because I remember getting out, and I remember my dad running in. My dad knows everybody in town. I remember my dad running in a guy he knows who told us because at that point, Tyson was so good. No one bought pay-per-views. You used to go find a place to watch him, or you pitched in because they didn't go past the first couple of rounds.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you don't see
ever.
that anymore. Because I remember telling somebody, I go, dude, I just remember Tyson would knock people out in the first or second round. Usually the first round.
Yeah.
Like if it went
fights
more
for
than
30 seconds.
yeah, and you were hoping they had a good undercard to make it worth your while
Yeah.
buying the fight.
So we'll talk about that in a second because it has to do with the 30 for 30. But I remember obviously not watching the boxing match because my
Yeah.
dad wouldn't
Same-
pay for
same here.
that kind of stuff. Ran into a guy because it happened in Tokyo.
But he'd pay for
So-
every Julio Cesar Chavez fight.
Yes, he would. But the
I mean,
time
I think
difference
of
too
it
because it was
before he had
Tokyo,
cable,
not
too.
knowing it. Yeah, but yeah,
Was it
maybe
in Tokyo?
But we usually at that point would have found somebody's house
Yeah.
to watch it at. And I don't think it happened in Tokyo.
Oh.
So because of the time difference and all that kind of stuff, I remember being at the swap meet and having somebody, Tyson lost. I was like, Tyson lost? Like, what the heck? And this is well after Mike Tyson's punch out and all that. We were doing all that already. So it was like, my gosh, that's just the thing. But what do you think about the whole thing?
So I actually watched it when it was on. I watched it live. Wow, when it actually,
was on.
when it first aired. I was at the shop. I was cutting hair, so I was kind of in and out. But what I did see, it told a really good tale.
Greatest upset in sports history.
cut
better
man,
than the
yeah.
Miracle on Ice.
Didn't even take
Answell?
his
Yeah.
yeah. So he didn't even take it with him. He screwed up. So he's all, I'll take the blame for that.
You know what Answell is?
That's that.
Answell is that.
It's that stainless steel thing that they
Oh, yeah.
freeze to take the swelling down. He
Okay.
didn't take it because they knew he's just gonna steamroll him anyway. So why even take it? He didn't take it, and then he started getting tagged in the face. He had nothing. He had to use a rubber glove and ice.
oh wow,
So this whole thing was set up to be the big underdog thing, because Buster Douglas was always the one that just didn't have kind of that fighting spirit. He just wasn't. His dad was a boxer. Buster Douglas' dad was a boxer who was pretty good in his own way, but Buster just didn't have the fire that his dad had. Buster Douglas is notorious for like giving up in fights. Actually, the first time
Yeah.
he fought for a championship match, he was winning the fight. And then as it got closer to the end, he just stopped punching and he lost the fight. So it was just kind of that whole thing. Tyson was, and I didn't know any of this until now because I was like
Nobody
13
did, yeah.
when this happened. So I don't,
Yeah.
you don't know about that kind of stuff or even read about that stuff. But Tyson was supposed to have fought Evander Holyfield. But while that was going on negotiating, Don King set up a match with Buster Douglas, who by all rights earned his spot. He earned his spot as a boxer because he was on a winning streak, had won 6 fights in a row. He earned that spot. But it was like, this guy is not going to last. This guy who's known as the one that gives up and all that kind of stuff, not going to last against Mike Tyson. The reason it was even in Tokyo, I know you said you watched it kind of in and out, was because they were convinced no one in the United States will pay to see this.
yeah, because it's just like a warm up fight. It's like
It's a warm-up fight against a guy who's going to lose. You're paying this guy X amount of dollars to get beat up by Mike Tyson.
yeah, and
That's
there's guys
what the thought was.
and there's guys in boxing, and that's basically what they make their careers. They're not. I don't want to call them losers or jobbers, but they're not the good fighters. They're like journeymen. They just want to get in there, get the experience. They're probably not going to do well, and they're just there to get the quick paycheck.
Yeah, so they did that. The reason it's called 42-1 is because those were the betting odds. Vegas wasn't even taking odds.
Yeah,
Most casinos. One casino decided to do it. He decided to do it, and it started at 27-1, and it just kept climbing 42-1 by the day that it actually happened. Those are the odds are bigger for that than the Miracle on Ice.
Wow.
So yeah, that's why they said this is like the biggest thing. Some guy put down $1,500 and won like $45,000.
Jesus.
You know, on that because he's like, 42-1 odds means you need to pay $42,000 to make $1,000. That's ridiculous odds. Like no one bets that, so they didn't. So the guys that bet on that did that, but they went over the whole thing. Buster Douglas's mom had passed away like about a few weeks before the fight.
Yeah.
He went in the typical kind of dad being a hard ass, not being a hard ass on him, just like it wasn't working with his dad training him. So he went to his uncle and kind of told his dad, like, I don't need you to train me, kind of that. And then the motivation of having your mom die and kind of doing it for your mom. They showed the fight, which I did never actually have seen because
they showed it after the thing.
Yeah, and he fought, dude. That was a fight. He came and it
tagged
was like,
him.
Yeah. He was coming in there doing what nobody else did against Tyson, which was like he brought it to Tyson, where Tyson is usually the bull in the china shop, bring it to you, whatever. No, this guy brought it to him, and Tyson just didn't have any counters for that.
Let me stop you right there. When I was Teddy Atlas was on Rogan's podcast, his one thing that he said about Tyson was he was never challenged until Buster Douglas. He never. So you kind of always knew what was going to happen. He was never really a champ
until he got a challenge from anybody,
right? Yeah. And then when you challenge him, what happens? He crumbles because he's never been challenged before. He doesn't know how to take it.
Well, the infamous is him getting knocked down, which he'd never done. He'd never been knocked down in a fight before, and putting in his mouthpiece backwards. Yeah, because even like he was just so dazed. Like as soon as he stood up, the referee looked at him and was like, "You're done, man. You don't even know where you're at." And actually backed that up because his trainer had said too. He's like, Mike asked me what had happened, and I told him you just got knocked out, and he was like, "No, I didn't. There's no, like you can tell like you really were knocked out because you have no idea that the other guy just won the fight.
You got knocked the fuck out."
Yeah, like
no, that's not what happened.
That's what happened. Obviously, no. They kind of alluded slightly to the fact that Mike was going through some tough stuff as well because in a sparring match. With one of his trainers, he took a shot and he actually got knocked down in a sparring match with one of his trainers, and it was kind of like, are they going to go back? Like he's got his own problems with Robin Givens and all this.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Fight. No, it didn't go that way. It went more like Buster was just dedicated enough and had the skills to pull that upset, and then Well,
I would assume that the documentary was kind of leaning towards him, anyways.
Yes, I mean it did because then it has to end with him. 8 months later, he did lose the belt to Evander Holyfield. But, it drew big money because by the time he fights Evander, his part of the purse was $24 million. Yeah. So he's got all that. He trains boxers now in his hometown.
And he had the video game with Sega. Yeah. Now listen, I didn't know this till later on, but basically that was just another boxing game that Sega came out with. And they realized like, hey, this guy just won the title. That other company, Nintendo, has Mike Tyson's Punch Out. We could have the guy who beat Mike Tyson and have Sega. So they just like programmed it,
one up him real quick,
and got Buster. That's why they have Buster Douglas's boxing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I mean, I know it didn't really go anywhere after that, but it really is. I mean, I did. I've watched the Miracle on Ice stuff. The movie's fantastic, and I really think this probably is the biggest upset in all the sports.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I came away with that. 30 for 30s are always great, dude. So
I
mean, I had nothing bad to say about it.
My parents were watching it at the same time when everything was happening. They were watching before the 42-1 was the Bob Knight 30 for 30. That one was
really?
good too.
Yeah, I want to watch that one. I was just talking to somebody about that one.
We were watching that one first, and then I checked the guide. And I was like, oh shoot, it's gonna roll right into 42-1. So I just left it. We were watching that. My parents were watching it at the same time. So then I watched 42-1. Then I leave. I go home. My dad tells me, hey, did you see that Bob Knight episode on 30 for 30? I go, actually, I was just watching it today. He goes, so was I. I go, did you see 42-1? It just ended. It just finished. And he goes, no, I changed it after. I go, you just missed one of the best ones they ever had.
You know what's funny? I was watching television and I see something recording. And I go, what the heck is recording? And somehow I recorded on my DVR and I haven't set it up for it. I have it. And if I would have known that we were going to talk about this, I would have watched it yesterday.
It's worth the watch.
Yeah,
Go home-
I'm
go home
definitely
and
going to watch it. I
yeah.
just I didn't have time.
Yeah, for sure. I actually just put it on by chance. Well, no, that's not true because when I always watch ESPN in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't watch the news. I watch ESPN. And they had Buster Douglas and Jeremy Schaap. I believe was the co-director of the thing. He's
Yeah, I
one of
think
the
so.
reporters for ESPN.
Yeah.
They were promoting it all over ESPN, and Buster Douglas was on ESPN all day.
Yeah, I saw something about it last week.
Yeah.
And then I had forgotten about it, and then I was talking to a guy I work with the other day, and he said something about it, and I was like, "Oh, damn, that's right!" Like, it did air already. He's like, "It just aired like the other day." I'm like,
Now-
yeah, it'll be on repeats.
Is Buster Douglas still really heavy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's kind of a heavy.
I mean,
dude.
like I remember him. Like I mean, he's a heavyweight, but
Well,
I mean,
see-
like I remember being like obese.
well, I wouldn't call him obese. He's a chunky guy.
Older. He's older black man.
Yeah,
Just,
I mean,
you
he's a
know,
60s,
just
50, late 50s,
trained
60 something year old.
boxers.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Probably
that
likes to
actually they
put
brought
down
that
the-
up because they said his dad was always in shape. Buster had to work to be in shape. It wasn't natural for him
Was
to be
his
in
mom
shape.
a big? His
No,
mom was.
I didn't look like she was necessarily just a big lady. It's just that he didn't have that natural.
Yeah.
It looks like boxing. He liked it, but it wasn't. It didn't seem like it came natural
Yeah, he was.
to him.
He had like the natural gift, but he just didn't want to apply himself to it.
Fair enough. That happens with people in
I
sports.
don't know, but there was a big difference
Beats
in the way he
him.
looked because they showed pieces of his other fights.
Mhm.
So there was a big difference in the way he looked in his earlier fights than what he looked like when he fought Tyson because he looked a lot different, a lot slimmer, and a lot it was just a very, very different style and a very different look to him. So it was really good. I totally recommend you got to watch it, dude. It's
Yeah, I
actually
do
really
have to
good.
check that out. That sounds great.
One of those moments that, like, again, I remember exactly where I was when I heard Mike Tyson lost because it was such like when we were growing up, he was a total just badass.
Yeah. Did you ever see the one with Miami football?
No,
With
I'm
Hurricanes?
I'm on my Uber app right now. I'm going to record a bunch. I don't know why I don't have it on series record, but I probably should. All right, we about ready to wrap this bad boy up?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So,
Any last words, anybody?
Christmas time's coming.
Hollis Queens.
Mama's cooking
Holidays.
chicken and collard
Holidays,
greens.
period. New Year's, everything's happening over at the shop at Crown and Stash. You might want to make an appointment now.
I did for tomorrow.
Oh man,
I'll be there at
We are-
10:45 a.m.
I was already booked as of a couple days ago, and
Yeah, you only had one booking the other day. It was in the late
Yeah.
afternoon too.
yeah, pickings are slim.
How
Yeah.
far booked out are you?
Couple days.
Wow.
Not
It's
not
never
too bad.
that bad.
Not too bad.
You
It's
know
nice. It's nice to be busy.
that it is. And on a more serious note, man, I know we've talked about it before. It is a depressing time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling down, feeling out of it, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-TALK. You can also text to 741-741, and someone will text with you as long as you need to. Don't go down that path.
Hey, real quick, ESPN is doing 30 for 30 marathon on Christmas Day.
Oh, there you go.
So
Very cool.
there's the one about Bobby Knight, the one on the XFL,
That one on the XFL was
That's
really
a good
good.
one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the Ric Flair one?
which is
Ric
coming
Flair
back.
again.
Ric
but
Flair
I'm
ones.
sure we'll talk about that later. I don't see the Ric Flair one, but we're here. All right, what you guys got going on? Anything?
This month at the brewery, there will be no cigar night because cigar night falls on Christmas.
What?
So,
Bring them to the house.
January, will we?
Can I roll blunts out of them?
I got Cuban, so no.
But go get your Resilience IPA.
Go
There
get
you
your
go.
Resilience IPA.
There you go.
If you want any beer to take home for the holidays or take it to friends, makes perfect gifts. We also
When are you at the bar? So
I'm usually there Thursday evenings. I usually don't have a shift anymore.
okay.
so-
but you're usually hanging out there.
I'm usually hanging out
evenings?
Thursday evenings.
Perfect.
So
And what time do they close again?
they close at 9 p.m.
Perfect.
Thank you, Eartha Kit.
You have a shift anymore. You
Yeah.
get fired or what?
No, I'm just too busy with other projects.
There you go.
Got it.
Hey, busy man.
Yeah,
busy
I'm trying to
man.
plan a
Ain't
wedding.
nothing wrong with that. There you go. It's hard work.
It's teaching in December, man. I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah, I'm off. I'm off until the beginning of the new year.
Fantastic.
One
How's
more
it feel?
weekend.
It's family time. It's just a bunch of family
Uh-huh.
stuff going on. By the time we record next, we'll have NXT tickets. No shows coming up. That's kind of different.
No,
Quiet Christmas.
Yeah, just enjoy the family time.
Yeah.
That's about it.
exactly.
Awesome.
Don't forget, you can listen to this podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube. Am I missing anything there, Dan?
Nope, can't think of anything.
You can also ask your smart home device to play the Extraordinary Culture podcast. It can be that one that starts with an A or the Google Home. If you want to email us, it's exocast, EXOCAST at yahoo.com. We're on Instagram at exoculture, Facebook at exocult, and Twitter at exocultcast. You can check us out at extraordinaryculture.weebly.com.
That's right, where we post our latest YouTube episode and just any information we got going on.
All right. Other than that, we will see you next time.
Feliz Navidad.
Merry Christmas.